Roosters, as you speak about, Alan. It is a little bit dewy, a little bit slippery, so you want to be careful. You want to have the longer studs out. I think milder soles in this type of night are a no-go, so hopefully all of the players have at least got, their studs in, whether they're long or, tailor-made to what they need is very important in these type of conditions. The Roosters had just left the field. They got a rousing boo as they left, and of course a big cheer for Canberra. Canberra, this is the fourth game in a row they've played here, so they'd like to go away with another victory here. They had a good victory last start, so whether they can do it again remains to be seen, because as Alan said, the Roosters have been terrible the last couple of weeks, and you would think that Trent Robinson would have tried to rectify that during the week. We'll soon know.
All right, John Gibbs with his stud morsels down there on the touchline, and we'll be with Gibbsy regularly. The start was officially put back to 8:05 with the long game, the Spriggy game, happening at Amy Park in Melbourne. Melbourne 32, Newcastle 30. That's a big wing tonguey for the Storm. They've won, I think, 4 out of 5 now.
Yeah, it's fantastic at home there. They bounced back. They had a bit of a slow start, but certainly finding their feet now as the Roosters are on there, Andrew.
With their fullback and captain James Tedesco. The wingers are Billy Smith and Mark Nwanganita-Waze. Both to see both of those two fit and healthy. The centres Hugo Savala and Rob Toya. 5'8" Daly Cherry Evans. Halfback Sam Walker. The lock Victor Radley. Second rowers Siwa Wong and Angus Crichton. Front rowers Spencer Lenu and Nafahu White. Hooker Connor Watson. And the bench Reece Robson, Lindsay Collins, Nat Butcher, Celeste Fichetti, Tom Rodwell and Egan Butcher. The coach Trent Robinson. So about to get the Viking clap and that great Canberra Raiders theme song here at Canberra Stadium. Everyone rises as one. The green jerseys and beanies and gloves and jackets here at Canberra Stadium. The Viking horn is about to blow. Did I hear it's Samima Taufa?
That's right, yes.
Great Canberra Raider in the NRLW. All right, Viking clap time. We'll shut up.
How good. It's great to see up and about in the Viking club here too, Andrew.
I love it. Yeah. The fullback is Kaya Weeks. The wingers, Savalia Tamale and also Xavier Savage. Centres Dane Warry, Mr. Fix-It Everywhere man. And Matt Timmacore, 5'8" Ethan Strange. Halfback Ethan Sanders. The lock Jaden Brayley. Second rower Zach Hosking and Hudson Young. Front rowers Captain Joe Tarpany and Corey Horsburgh. The hooker Tom Starling. And the bench Owen Paddy, Atta Mariotta, Morgan Smithies, Jet Stewart, Chevy Stewart, and in 21 Venner Patuki Case. The coach Ricky Stewart, referee out there Gerard Sutton, touch judges Dave Munro and Drew Ultram and Grant Atkins in the bunker. Here we go. Kick off from Kaya Weeks. Sends it down to the northeast corner, and the Sydney Roosters get first touch of the footy about 10 metres out from their own line. Tungy, would you mind just whacking those lights off for us here to avoid the reflection? Now it's Billy Smith on play 2. He's going to be taken about 14 out from his own goal line. Sydney Roosters with it. First set of 6. And now played to Watson. Goes right in Nafahu White. Hasn't he had a great year, Nafahu White? Stands in the tackle about 23 out from his own line. Hudson Young was in there with Starling. Played to Watson. And he sends the ball left edge this time as the Sydney Roosters work at Crichton. 31 out from his own goal line. Plays the ball to Watson. They go left again. Tedesco. He's floored. 7 short of halfway. 15 in from the eastern or far touchline. On the last, it comes right Walker. Boots it downfield. Kyo Weeks drifts to his right with the catch. 10 metres out from his own goal line. Heads back towards the 20. Runs into the chase. Headed up by Radley. White was in there too with Lenu. 18 out from the Canberra Raiders goal line. Plays it and it comes left to Marley. He's wrapped up and swarmed to the ground. 19 out from his own line. Southern end of Canberra Stadium. He plays it to Strange. Works it left Timmacore. Good run. Caught 28 out from his own line. No score. We've had 1 minute and 20 seconds here at Canberra Stadium after Melbourne's 32-30 win over Newcastle. A thriller in Melbourne. Canberra 15 short of halfway. Out of dummy half goes Starling. Good run, gets over the halfway paint by about a metre or so. Then the Canberra Raider hits the deck in back play. Here's a kick from Sanders on the last, off the left boot, down to the right wing of Nwanganita Waze. Mark with the catch, 9 out from his own line, met by the chase of Horsburgh and Jaden Brayley, standing in the tackle, 19 out from the Roosters line. A minute 50 gone, Alan Tung, no score.
Well, if it's any chance, looking at the opening 2 sets here from both the teams, I tell you what, we're in for an absolute scream. Really good play, good energy off the line here defensively. Both teams really ripping in. It's a good feeling to start.
Roosters almost all blue tonight with the white V and white numbers. Victor Radley, he sends it left to Walker. Walker over halfway, but he's tackled about 2 metres in Canberra Raiders territory. He plays the ball to Watson, comes back right to Leniu. Leniu carts it up over the 40 into Jaden Brayley and Tarpany. Stands in the tackle, 36 out from the Canberra line last play. Watson goes right, kick downfield from Cherry Evans down to the southwest corner for Tamale. Up they go. It's knocked back for Nafahu White. He sends it left again. They go through hands. Radley to Walker. Got a long pass away to Billy Smith. He turned it on the inside. Zavala very close to the goal line, but desperate Canberra Raiders defence over there. Coming across was Kyo Weeks. Brilliant tackle on Zavala over the touchline. And it'll be a play the ball for Canberra. 10 out for their own goal line. 3 minutes gone. Scoreless start. Early thoughts downstairs. John Gibbs.
Yeah, well, that was a sparkling set there for the Roosters, and they covered really well because Sam Walker threw the trademark long pass, went out to the winger, and he was able to, Billy Smith was able to get the ball back on the inside of Zavala. Good start to both sides, and these two sides, the last 2 times they've met, both wins to Canberra by 2 points, so it looks like it's going to be a good one again.
Timikoff, tackle 15 out from his own line, plays it, goes right to Horsburgh. You heard the grunt as he runs into the defence. 3-man tackle. Wong was in there with Leniu and White, and now Canberra takes it up to their own 30-metre line. No score on the board early going. Tarpany plays the ball, and it comes to the left nose. Starling jinks around up and down in the one spot pretty much. Tackle 34 out from his own line. Last play Canberra. Dummy half Weeks, goes right, strains the kick, and he sends it deep for Tedesco. Drifts back and got a good catch. 4 out from his own line, facing his goal line. Heads over the 10. Then he's confronted by the chase and rounded up by Hudson Young, his Blues teammate. 22 out from the Roosters line. 4 minutes gone, no score. Play to Cherry Evans. Goes left to Nwanganita Waze. He's floored just outside his 30. 18 in from the western touchline. Plays the ball to Cherry Evans. Goes to his left. Through hands. Walker got the pass on. And the Roosters get within 12 of halfway. Now the ball is played by Billy Smith. Comes to the left edge. Running off Connor Watson that time was Radley. 5 short of halfway. Rodson goes right to Leniu. He crosses into Canberra territory. Good strong run by Spencer Leniu. 9 metres in Raiders territory. On the last, Watson goes right. Cherry Evans the kick from 42 metres out. Tamale the target again. Under it. Takes it 8 out from his own goal line. Got through Wong now. Put to the ground. 18 out from his own line. Nearly 5 gone. No score. And Alan Tung Tamale is going to be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no doubt they'll be doing that. Really testing. He's had a couple of wobbles under the high ball throughout the start of this season. He carries the ball so strongly, but Raiders plenty of work from their outside men. Kyo Weeks getting them hands on the footy. Dane Laurie as well, so plenty of good metres from the backfield.
Get your text shortly, 0467 920 222 as Canberra centre left to Young. Flick pass out the back, good hands by Timokor. Then he bounced away from Siwa Wong over the 40, and now claimed by Cherry Evans and one other defender, Radley. 5 short of halfway. 5 in from the western touchline. Played to Marley. Goes right, Sanders. Links up with Horsburgh. White is one of 3 defenders there with Leniu. Popped a pass out the back to Sanders. He sprints over halfway. Got through one. Taken by Crichton. 39 out from the goal line. Last play, Canberra. Dummy half Starling. Goes right to Strange. Runs in the line. Cut that ball away to Laurie. He put it on the Toby on Tedesco. Billy Smith. He reached down for it and knocked it on. End up being a great little stab kick from Dane Laurie. Canberra will get the scrum feed. 10 out from the Sydney Roosters line. 6 minutes gone. Scoreless start, but geez, Tungy, the quality of play early has been phenomenal.
It's fast, isn't it? They're moving the ball around. I know Johnny said about the conditions down there a little bit dewy, but I tell you what, both teams really moving the football around. There's some great play on that side there. Ethan Sanders, the man, caught on 5th play, goes to Strange, puts it on to Dane Laurie. Beautiful little kick in behind. There's a really good energy about this game.
Canberra set to the left, not to mention the most aesthetically pleasing jerseys. You can fine. The green machine against the bright blue. Here's Canberra from the scrum winner. Goes left to Young. He's tackled 11 metres out from the line by Siwa Wong. Played to Starling. Sent it open side right to Horsburgh. Steps into Radley, White and Lenu and tackled in front of the northern post. 8 metres out. Chance for Canberra. Starling goes right Tarpany. Hit and spin back to Starling. He puts the ball on the toe. It's loose. Hosking couldn't get there. The Roosters do, however, coming up with the Pill Walker, and he's tackled 11 out from his own goal line. Not great execution that time from Canberra. Now Billy Smith from first receiver. He's caught 17 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Watson. Goes right to Crichton, and he's tackled 21 out from his own line. Stands in the tackle. Roosters in Canberra. No score here at Canberra Stadium. Exciting start to the game in the opening 7 minutes. Watson out of dummy half. He's caught 33 out from his own line by Starling. He's good mate, actually. Comes right now to Nafahu. White with the flat ball. He's wrapped up. 5 short of halfway. Last tackle Roosters. Watson goes to his right. Cherry Evans clearing kick. And it's going down to Marley. Drifts a little back and takes it 9 out from his own line. Heads back towards the 20 to Siwa Wong and Rob Toya. And he's going to be claimed 25 out from his own line. No score down to the touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, this is a lightning start by both sides. It's been high quality as well. We saw that drop ball by Billy Smith. But apart from that, the Roosters, Trent Robinson will be happy. Their handling's been good.
So now Hosking's going to be taken. Radley gives you about 15 short of halfway by Radley and Watson. They work it left. Tarpany puts his hip and shoulder into the defence. Standing in the tackle. Good run, Tarpany. It's a typical Tarpany run. Stood in the tackle a metre short of halfway. Comes to the right now. Brayley away Sanders. Got it inside to Hosking. He's caught midfield. 9 metres in Roosters territory. Played on the last. It comes from Starling to the right. Sanders a kick from 38 metres out the wing of Billy Smith. Flying through his lorry. And he got there first and knocked the ball on Dane Laurie. It's going to be a Roosters changeover. About 13 out from their own line. 8 minutes 20 gone here at Canberra Stadium on NRL Friday, and there's no score. We update scores around the grounds of the AFL. Hawthorn 14 leading the Bulldogs 12 earlier in the rugby final. Wellington 66 beat the Brumbies 12. Text on 0467 920 222 as a Moles. Andrew, Queensland in Cairns tomorrow. We'll be watching both Queensland games on a big outdoor screen at the Esplanade. Weather is magic up here. Good on you, Pam. Enjoy the warmth. It's about 3 degrees here. Radley up the middle. He's scored 10 short of halfway, but the quality of this place keeping us warm. Played to Watson. Goes centre field left. Walker away through hands to Desco. He linked up that time with Zavala. He's pushed to the ground, trying to get the pass away. Picked up by the Raiders. It's a penalty going against Canberra. The Raiders are streaking away to score through Xavier Savage, but it's all coming back to a penalty for the Roosters. 3 metres in Canberra Raiders territory. It remains scoreless after 9.5 minutes, and Xavier Savage has got to come 50 metres back.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going back to it. It was a rake of the ball there, was it? I'm not too sure there, the penalty on that occasion, but the Roosters, they're favouring that left-hand side. We spoke about Dane Laurie coming into the centre position for a Seb Chris, who's out with some concussion there. So those little combinations just on that right-hand side, the Roosters trying to target early.
And now the touch finder from Cherry Evans, 30 out. Touchline we go. Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, well, he's a try scorer, Xavier Savage, but that was raked. There's no doubt about it. So that was a lucky one, and it was well refereed there by Jared Sutton. Here comes the Roosters, their best attacking chance.
On the tap, 23 metres out. Played to Watson. Goes right now. Cherry Evans to White. He takes him, putting down Nafahu. White. That leg drive continues. There's about 10 post-contact metres. Held the call, 11 out from the goal line. Played to Watson. Spins it left to Radley. Dummies his way into the defence and taken. 7 out from the goal line. Good tackle there from Jaden Brayley. Played to Watson. Goes left to Walker. Away to Desco. Short ball Crichton. Hit and spin. He got the pass away to Desco. Back to the right, Watson. Watson in front of the post. Steps back to the left. Then he got the ball away. Crichton through one, but dragged down 2 out. Brayley was in there again, along with Hosking. Now comes right. Through hands. Cherry Evans away. Tedesco. They got the numbers. Toya, great tackle. Timacor. Got the ball away to Marky Mark. And the Womanita Waze gets it down despite the presence of Kyo Weeks and Sevelia Tamale. What a finisher he is. Mark the Woganita Waze. It's a great try for the Roosters. 11 minutes gone. Sydney Roosters 4. Canberra 0. The Woganita Waze Tamale back from injury, Alan Tongue, and he's got the first try of the game.
And he had plenty to do, and he done it well, didn't he, on that outside? But what about the ball movement? Once again from the Roosters, some second phase play and shifting the footy to the right-hand side. And the late little offload there from Toya, the man. He was in, he had plenty of work to do. Timmercourt came across, and then Marky Mark out wide. Still had Kyo Weeks to beat, but he is such a great finisher. One of the best in the NRL. Puts it down to get the opening points here tonight.
Those last two plays, Gibbsy, were quite incredible, really.
Yeah, Robert Toya, in these conditions, he was spinning. He was able to get the ball out to Toya, who stood him up, a little bit of a goose step, and then went for the corner. And Marky Mark, as we know, does not miss from there. 33rd game for Mark Nwanganita-Waze in the NRL. First time that he set foot on Bruce Stadium, or Canberra Stadium, as a rugby league player, and that's his 33rd try. So his strike rate exactly 100%.
Yeah, not bad, is it? And he, as you and Tungy said, he had a lot of finishing to do, but they were covering all ends of the field there, the Sydney Roosters, and Toya's great ball to Nwanganita-Waze. He did well to get it down. So Sam Walker now, 22 metres out, 1 metre in from the western touchline. Earlier, Melbourne 32 defeated Newcastle 30. And here's a chance for the Roosters to go up by 6, 12 minutes in. Game played at a cracking speed. So here's Walker, and that after the Raiders were rightfully denied a try down to the other end. Here's Walker with the right boot. Strikes it well across the face. You don't see him miss by that much very often, so it remains 4-0. Sydney Roosters leading Canberra here on NRL Friday and ABC Sport. On the text line, 0467 920 222. How good is a strange 6 again, Tungy?
Strange.
I think that's a play on words.
Okay.
Good evening, Andrew, Alan and John. Love to hear you free on the show. Enjoy your night in Canberra. Have a fun stay. Thank you, Dion. 0467 920 222. Looking forward to this game and the enthusiastic and knowledgeable call from the Major. Thank you, Major. Moon will rise tonight around half-time. A warning, Gibbsy. Oh, don't start him on the moon. Here's the kick-off, and it's returned by the Sydney Roosters. They're up about 13, 14 metres or so from their own goal line. It was a good run there from Lenu. And now a ball's been lost forward by the Roosters on play 2. It was played to Watson. He went right to Wong, and it's gone forward. So, gee, that's the mortal enemy, isn't it? You score points, and then you can't complete the next set. Well, they didn't really get through 2 plays.
No, and just a little bobble of the football, just as he's come up there, Lenu to play the ball, and the Raiders now in some good position here. Now, if we take it back a couple of sets before that try that Mark scored in the corner there, but it was a little kick in behind from Tommy Starling. Play 2, just turned the momentum on the game, and now all of a sudden the Raiders, they get their opportunity.
They win the scrum though, Canberra. Comes left. Sanders turns it in. Horsburgh tackled 18 or 19 out from the Roosters line. Sydney Roosters 4, Canberra 0. Ball played Starling. Goes right Tarpany. Runs into White and Radley. Down he goes, 10 out in front of the northern goalpost. Starling sends it right to Ethan Strange. Bounces away from 1. He's so strong, Ethan Strange. He showed that in Origin 1. Here he's tackled 9 metres out, but maintained his feet in a 3-man tackle. Played to Starling, goes left to Brayley, plays out the back to Sanders. Long pass, a shocker. That was straight to Nwanganita-Waze. Equally, he gets straight past some flimsy defence. Dragged down by Weeks, 9 short of halfway. That was a poor pass from Sanders. Straight to Marky Mark. Now it's Walker over halfway. He beats 1, got away from Starling. He sends a pass left to Billy Smith. Steps away from the eastern touchline towards centre field and stands in the tackle. 39 out from the Canberra goal line. The scoreline 4-0 to the Roosters, 14 minutes gone. Now the Roosters 38 out from the Canberra line. Ball played here by Wong. Goes centre field left. Radley away to Walker. Turns it into Crichton. And Crichton up the middle. Nearly broke free. He'll play very quickly. 25 out to Watson. They work it left to Walker. Then he got the pass away to support Zavala. And he's standing in the tackle only a couple of metres out from the goal line. Desperate defence here from Canberra required on the last. It's played to Watson. Comes right. Crossfield kick by Walker. Looking for Nwanganita-Waze. It's Tamale, what a catch. Sevelia Tamale, but he didn't catch it. He dropped it over the dead ball line, and I wonder whether he's interfered with it all in the air around the knees, because he is down, Alan Tongue, beyond the dead ball line, Tamale. Now he's getting to his feet slowly.
Yeah, I think it was totally accidental, the way that he's come up and... He's a Waze, I'll have to get that out there. But he's just tripped over him. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. As he's come down, he's almost just tripped over.
He lands on the Wanganita-Waza.
Yeah, that's right. And just his head comes down. So this will be a concern here for Ricky Stewart. Looks like he'll have to come off for a HIA, the way that he's fallen and stayed down on the ground there. Bit of concern, but some good ball movement once again from the Roosters. Some concerning signs for the Raiders, trying to solve a lot of things on their own.
He is going to come off for an HIA, Gibbsy, Tamale the winger.
Yeah, and I'd say it'll be category 2, so he'll be assessed. But what had happened there is Sam Walker kicked that ball across, and Wanganita-Waza was anticipating where the ball was going to land. So he was sliding into that position. He made contact. He put his arms up, but he didn't hit him then, and he tripped over him. So that was just an excellent play on. Incidentally, they scored more tries from kicks, the Roosters, than any other side. 19, and there's the reason why. Mark Wanganita-Waza.
They got a ready-made replacement for Tamale and Jed Stewart, at least, for Canberra. And he's on now in jersey 17. Ethan Sanders goes deep with the line drop out near the eastern touch line. And the ball's caught out there by Walker. Sends a long pass right to Lenu. And Spencer's going to be standing in the tackle. 34 out from the Canberra line. Sydney Roosters lead 4-0. And they're on the attack again. Watson goes right. Cherry Evans turns it into White. And he again right over the 30. What a run to Fahu White. He made 15 post-contact meters with his back to the defence. He played 14 out. Corey Horsburgh could not help himself. Wouldn't let him go. 6 more tackles now. Walker centre left with a poor pass to Desco. He's rounded up rather quickly by Laurie and Hosking. 14 out for the goal line. Plays the ball to Watson. Dummies open side right. Short side left to Walker to Crichton. Drag down, 6 out. Scoring almost seems inevitable here for the Roosters this set. Sam Walker. He sends it right to Radley. Then away to White again. Nafahu White. Straight. Stands. This time he can't go further than 9 out from the goal line. Play to Watson. Right to Radley. Terry Evans away to Siwa Wong. He throws it behind him in the tackle. It goes back. Cherry Evans scoops it up. 19 out from the line. Links up left to Connor Watson. Drifts across field. Offloads to Walker. Turns it into Crichton again. Crichton bounced away from Starling. Now he's held up in the tackle of Horsburgh. 15 out. It's frantic. Sam Walker, big left foot step. Got away from one. Weighs up the kick. Puts it in behind them. Toya getting back there with Jed Stewart. Jed Stewart was having a holiday, but it does go dead off Toya. Oh, gee, and breathe a sigh of relief. Jed Stewart, 20-metre tap. 7 tackles set for Canberra. 4-0 Roosters lead, 16 and a half gone.
I tell you, that was a near thing. But what about Walker? Great work, scheming across the field there and coming across. Saw a little opening in the backfield, and Toya, that was nearly a 4-pointer there. Jed Stewart just gets to the footy in time. Really important set here for the Raiders. They haven't had too much ball in this last couple of moments of the game here. They need to get down. They've got a 6 again here now that'll help. Need to get into some good field position. Roosters dominating.
Yeah, they need to complete a set, don't they? Here's Hosking running off the inside of Strange. Tackle 5 short of halfway. And in there was Radley and Crichton. Played to Starling. Sends it centre field left. Horsburgh, big red. Tackled about 4 metres in Rooster territory. Now Starling. Comes back to the right to Strange. Inside ball to Laurie. Drifts right to left, but White can't make the tackle nor Crichton. Taken by Watson, 38 out. Good quick play the ball, Starling. He sends it to the right, Brayley. Drag down 34, make it 24 out from the Roosters line. Last tackle. It goes from Starling. Then to Strange. Puts up a shallow kick. Up they go. Billy Smith looking for the ball for the Sydney Roosters. What a catch that was. Roosters survive 5 out from their own line. 17 minutes 45 gone. Roosters leading by 4 points to nil. Savala now tackled on his own 10. This game is every bit as quick as that classic we saw last Sunday night between Penrith and the Warriors. Crossfield kick for the Wanganita-Waza. Catches it on the 30. Read beautifully by Jed Stewart. He came across to make a tackle near the western touchline. 14 short of halfway. Boy, you can't take your eyes off it for a sec, can you? Now it's Siwa Wong. He's tackled about 9 one short of halfway there by Tarpany. Played to Cherry Evans. Goes left to Nafahu White. Spins away from one. They cannot put this dude down. Stands in the tackle on halfway and on the last. Watson goes right. Kicked by Cherry Evans. End over end. Jet Stewart drops back with a catch. 11 metres out from his own goal line. Heads back to the 20 and he'll play just shy of that. 18 minutes 30 gone. Sorry, Tungy. 4-0 Roosters lead.
Yeah, it's amazing pace. And just look at Corey Horsburgh in the background. He is absolutely cooked. A few of the Raiders are still just trying to get back on side. It won't be long, I think, before a couple of changes from Ricky Stewart.
Timmacore goes right now as Canberra has the footy through Laurie. 29 out from his own line. Starling picks it up. Sends it right to Zach Hosking. Good run. Tackled within 10 of halfway. He plays the ball now after the defence came through there from the Roosters. Now they spread it to the left. Kyo Weeks, big dummy. Straight past Terry Evans. Beat another over the 30. Tedesco to beat. He sends it inside. It's a worm killer. Dived on by Crichton. Kyo did all the hard work. But then he just literally threw it back to the Roosters as Canberra seems to be doing a fair bit of. 19 minutes 20 gone. Roosters 4, Canberra 0. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, here's a break now at a dummy half by Tedesco. This is so fast and frenetic, but that was an opportunity gone down the gurgle there for Canberra. Beautiful break by Kyo Weeks. Poor defence by Daly Cherry Evans.
So now Sam Walker was tackled. Here's a kick downfield by Cherry Evans looking for a 40-20. Has the distance on the angle. Redley's flying through. How's he going to win the race? He scores. He beat Kyo Weeks by 5 metres. Is he onside? How did Victor Radley find that speed? He turned in from a blancmange to Usain Bolt. Unreal from Radley. Try Roosters. They lead 8-0, 20 minutes gone. How did he beat Kyo Weeks, Alan Tongue?
I can't believe it. I know that Kyo Weeks, he's absolutely cooked at the moment. He looked, he was on a treadmill. And Victor Radley just zoomed past him. That was unbelievable. They're going to check this. Is he offside? It looked too easy.
The first thought, Tungy, he had to be offside, and he is.
Only just, though. Only just.
I wonder, is Kyo Weeks hurt?
That's Victor Radley's in front of the kick by Daly Cherry Evans.
It's Grant Atkins in the bunker, so it will be no try. It will be a penalty going to the Canberra Raiders. Canberra's first of the night. But it doesn't take away from the sprint from Victor Radley, John Gibbs, down on the touchline.
Well, the irony is he didn't have to be offside. He was offside, though, so that'll be no try. But it's just that Kyo Weeks had made the break. And wouldn't that have been turning around for Cherry Evans, too? Missed the tackle, then came up with a kick. Victor Radley, there's the official confirmation. No try. But Kyo Weeks, he couldn't pick his legs up. It was like he was running uphill, a very, very steep hill. And Victor Radley was looking like Usain Bolt going straight past him.
So here's Canberra getting the penalty now. Metre out from their own line, and Sanders finds touch with no angle. About 16 out from his own line. Around the grounds in the AFL, Hawthorn 28 leading the Bulldogs 24 from the tap. Matt Timmacore tackled 27 out from his own line. This is legitimately thrilling stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. When you think about the Roosters last week, 61% completion rate, 18 errors. They have come here like they are full of confidence and playing to the best of their ability.
Here's Starling for Canberra. Goes right to Horsburgh. Runs into Crichton and Watson and put to the ground 11 short of halfway, and Bradley. Centre of the park, Starling. Goes right to Strange. Short ball to Hosking. Done some good work on that right edge, Zach Hosking. Here he's tackled 4 short of halfway. Played to Starling. They dart short side right to Ethan Strange. Bumps into the defence himself and wrapped up. About 38 out from the goal line. And he's still down, Ethan Strange.
Nice shot there, is it?
He's still down. Looks at the touch judge. Down on one knee, but he does play it on the last. It comes left to Sanders. The kick from 39 metres out. Towering one to the left winger, Billy Smith. He takes it just into the field of play, and he's caught now 5 out from his own goal line. 21 gone, and it's 4-0. Roosters leading Canberra. You're with Alan Tongue, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore. NRL Friday here on ABC Sport. We've got a good one here for sure, as now the Roosters Roosters, just outside their 20. Ball played. Out to dummy, half scoots Tedesco. The human pinball over the 30. Tackled 33 out from his own line by Tarpany. Played to Watson. Goes left to Fahu White. And it's a shock. He's taken to the ground immediately. 7 short of halfway. Watson on the last. Goes right, Cherry Evans. Drills the kick beyond Kaya Weeks. Bouncing in goal. Weeks picks it up in the in-goal area for Canberra. The fullback will get it back to the 10 and then met by a wall of Roosters chasers. 10 out from his own line. So, still 4-0 Roosters. About 22 minutes. The only try scorer, Mark Nwangani-Dawase, back in the 11th minute of the game, is now Canberra tough set. 15 out from their own line. It's spun to the left to Laurie. Dane Laurie up the centre. Not a bad run. Going about 8. 22 out from his own line. Caught by Crichton. Played to Starling. Goes left Tarpany on the angled run. Linked up Timacor. Quick hands. Oh, Mark Nwangani-Dawase nearly pulled off the most stunning intercept. He got his hand to the ball, dived full length, juggle, and nearly kept it off the ground. And Connor Watson keeps telling us he's one of those pain in the bums tonguey that's the best at everything he tries. Ping pong, darts, juggles, everything. And that time was nearly a magnificent intercept. Instead, a Canberra scrum feed on its own 30 minutes.
Yeah, and the Raiders, they really need that too. I talk about the energy that the Roosters are winning that battle for sure. But I tell you what, that was nearly something very, very special. But what about Joe Tarpany too, going out wide, the big front row and backing himself and putting on a nice pass there to Timacor.
Can I just suggest to Canberra, stop throwing the ball near Nwangani-Dawase. Canberra outside their 30. Laurie plays it to Starling. Goes left. Horsford got straight through Radley. Now caught 11 short of halfway by Wong White and Cherry Evans. They work it left to Hudson Young. Charges there into Watson and Wong. And he's standing in the tackle. And then took Connor for a ride. He should have charged him with about $8, I reckon, for that one. Played to Starling. Goes right Tarpany. Then away to Sanders. Sanders is show and go. Dragged to the ground. 31 out by Walker and Crichton. He'll play the ball now. Canberra with the ball. Comes to the left. Strange hands it off on the inside of Jaden Brayley. Wrapped up 22 out from the Roosters line. 16 minutes 30 left in the half. Roosters 4, Canberra 0. Oh, they give away a set restart. Sam Walker in the play the ball was on the last tackle. So Canberra's second restart of the night. They're 18 out. Tarpany plays it. Comes left to Young. Angle run on. No. Hudson Young's dropped the ball on play 2. Canberra is letting themselves down constantly. Here's a long ball for the Roosters, and they go down the left edge and making the break for them. It comes back to Savala. He's going to be dragged in. No! Still going. He's going to score the try. The Sydney Roosters are in. Savala left Horsford, one other in their wake, and he's over to score. How did they do that? Billy Smith and Hugo Savala combine after a dreadful bit of play from Hudson Young, and the Roosters make them pay. Try to Savala. We have 15 and a half minutes to go in the first half, and now the Roosters lead by 8 points to 0.
Well, it's end-to-end footy here at Canberra Stadium. It looked like the Raiders were pressing and looking like they would be the next to score, and all of a sudden that error you mentioned there from Hudson Young, and the Roosters, they just backed themselves straight away. Throw the ball straight to the edge there. So, yes, some flimsy defence there at the back end, but Savala races away. It's a 100-metre effort basically from the Roosters off an error there from Hudson Young. This is unbelievable here tonight.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, that was a great tackle over the top by Nafahu White, but good work also by Cherry Evans. It threw it wide to Walker, and then he gave the ball on the outside. It got to Billy Smith, who just completely beat one out, or just all hands up. He beat Xavier Savage, and then I don't know what happened with Kaya Weeks and Corey Horsford, as if they ran into each other. Hugo Savala went in one side and out the other, and that was completely against the run of play. Canberra have created opportunities, but they haven't been able to ice them, and that's going to hurt them coming into this game.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They keep dropping the ball. Roosters will really punish them. They lead 8-0, and Sam Walker lining up this kick. 16 out, 20 in from touch eastern side.
Yeah, well, I think that first one there with Tom Starling, when he put that kick through, it changed the momentum once again. A little, error there from the Raiders, and on this occasion, Hudson Young, led his 150th game there last week for the club, just comes up with a really crucial error, and they're fatigued as Joe Tarpany, who's had a great first stint, he comes to the sideline now.
And Hudson Young, it's got to be said, error by him, very rare. Here's Walker, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 1 out of 2. Double figures though for the Roosters. They lead Canberra 10 points to 0 here at Canberra Stadium after almost 26 minutes around the grounds in the AFL. Hawthorn 29, leading the Bulldogs 25. 0467 920 222. Why was the penalty for the Radley try given when the ball landed? He was offside 45 metres closest to the Roosters line. Well, I think that's always been the rule though. It is where the ball lands in that case. 0467 920 222. Big Roosters fan, but I'm a little frustrated every time Siwa Wong gets the ball. I think it's Nafahu White, and every time White gets the ball, I think Siwa Wong. I'm having trouble knowing the difference. White and Wong. Very good. Surely the 40-20 offside penalty has to be from where the offside occurred, not the goal line. That's where the ball lands. That's always been thus. Here's the Roosters now with the ball on play 2, 21 metres out from their own goal line. It's 10-0 in favour of the Sydney Roosters, as now in centre field Nafahu White, who's been a wrecking ball. Stands in the tackle, 31 out from his own goal line, crept forward a couple of metres, and this time referee Gerard Sutton says, back you go Nafahu. And he went back about 3 blades of grass. Plays and it comes right to Radley. He's tackled 14 metres short of halfway. Doesn't seem right though, does it? When you're offside, it should be the penalty, exactly as the listeners are saying. Here's Siwa Wong. Backs his way over into Canberra territory by a couple of metres. Taken by Brayley and Young. Played on the last. Watson goes right. Cherry Evans kick. It's a wobbly looking thing. Weeks lets it bounce. It's into the in goal area, but he's going to have a bit of good fortune here. It bounces over the dead ball line. 20 metre tap for Canberra. 7 tackles set. 13 minutes 15 left in the half. That the Roosters are here leading by 10 points to 0.
Yeah, just having a look there. So Sibilio Tamale has come from the HIA, so he's good to go again. Just having a look at that down on the sideline. But yeah, right, it's a 7 tackle set here, much needed for the Raiders because they have been out on their feet, but Arta Mariota on there as well now. Yeah,
he's on for Tarpon. He'll get down to Jonty in the tick as Laurie plays at 15 short of halfway to Starling. Goes left, Brayley away to Mariota, and a good run by Arta Mariota into the defence of Wong and White. 4 metres short of halfway. Play to Starling, comes to the right. Canberra work at 5-6 metres into Roosters territory, trailing by 10 points to 0 with 12 minutes 30 left in the half. Now Starling goes right to Brayley, out the back for Sanders, turns it into Hosking, good run. Caught about 26 out from the goal line. He'll play the footy now to Starling. It comes to the left with the ball away to Sanders, then on to Hudson Young. A little bit of a Jimmy, and then he takes off with acceleration, but he's caught 20 out from the line by Cherry Evans and Wong. Played on the last. Starling goes right. Sanders, up she goes, the kick down the northeast corner. Savala, up he goes, ball off backwards, but straight to Tedesco, then bing bing, he's away from 2. Collared 9 out from his own line. 10-0 Roosters, touchline John Gibbs.
Yeah, we don't want to confuse things, and we will double check, but we've been given information that Tamale is out of the game. Farley's HIA, so we'll double check it though.
Okay, mate, thank you, Jonty. Here's the Roosters with it, Nawonganita Waze, and he may have just wanted back to join his teammates even having been ruled out. He plays the ball to Watson, sends it right now. That looks like Nat Butcher on the field. It is. He's caught 27 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Reece Robson on the field. Now to Sam Walker. Big dummy by Sam. Then got a pass away off the ground to Watson. He straightens and tackles 5 metres short of halfway. Roosters with it, leading 10-0. Played, comes to the right. Kick downfield by Cherry Evans between Jed Stewart and Kyo Weeks. Weeks back for it. Takes it on the in-goal line or in-goal area. Returns it to the 10 and is collected by the chase. About 10 out from his own line. Siwa Wong headed it. It is 10-0 in favour of the Roosters. 29 minutes gone. NRL Friday. Now it's Tim McCaw. He's caught about 17 out from his own line.
I have no doubt on the tip sheet of every one of the Roosters players it would be about making sure that you have a nice line and your kick chase coming to Kyo Weeks. They've done that really, really well. He's made that one break earlier on, but they've really handled him at a great work there.
Owen Paddy on the field now for the Raiders is getting a breather is Jaden Brayley. Nafahu White gets a breather for the Roosters as Canberra swing it to the left side. Comes away now through hands. Sanders to Weeks to Timoko to Stewart, but Nawonganita Waze's got him with Toya and they shove him over the western touchline. Again, pretty poor set from Canberra. They're not giving themselves a chance here. Nearly half an hour gone. Roosters lead by 10 points to 0 here at Canberra Stadium, and the Roosters will get to play the ball 10 metres into Canberra territory. perfect touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, when they've shifted the ball, Kaya Weeks has looked dangerous, but they gave him the old 1-2 punch there because Toya held him up and Nwanganitawaze drove Jed Stewart over the touchline. He is out of the game. Sevilla Tamale, that's a loss. So going for that bomb and a little bit of a collision with Nwanganitawaze out of the game.
All right, thank you, Gibbsy. Here's Connor Watson now, hitting it up the middle. He's going to be taking 22 out, so he becomes a middle forward now with Reece Robson on the field. Likewise, Starling with Owen Paddy out there. Jaden Bradley, the player off. Here's Lindsay Collins' first touch. He's caught 15 metres out from the goal line. Changes coming thick and fast. Robson goes left now to Cherry Evans to Walker, then away to Tedesco. Cut out ball, Savala. Steps in field, and he's going to be claimed here by Hosking. Touched by Canberra. Picked up by Tedesco. He got the pass right. Cherry Evans tackled a metre out from the line. New set here for the Roosters, who already lead 10-0. Robson a dummy half. Gets the ball now. Comes to the right to Walker. He links up now, Watson to Rob Toya. Steps in field. Timacore's got him. Holds him up in the tackle. 5 out. Sanders joined the tackle as well. Free in from touch, southwest corner. Plays it. Goes left to Walker. Then on to Matt Butcher. He's tackled 9 metres out from the Canberra line. Still only early in the tackle count. Back to the right they go. Walker puts in the kick for Rob Toya. Toya throws it back, and the try's been claimed by the Roosters. Toya did incredibly. Flicked it back, and who else but Mark Nwanganitawaze says, yeah, baby. He gets it down for the try. Toya's body was over the dead ball line. He kept it alive. Threw it back into the field of play. Nwanganitawaze was there. Spectacular try, Roosters. They lead 14-0. 8 minutes 15 left in the half.
Yeah, great play. First there by Sam Walker. He actually sums it up beautifully there. He could see that the fullback in Kyo Weeks was up in the line. He needed to be up in the line. There was space in the backfield. Beautiful little kick off his right foot. Comes through. Toya, just the commitment to continue to fight for the footy right to the depth. Throws it back in and Mark. Thank you very much for his second try.
They just seem to be turning up everywhere, John Gibbs, the Roosters.
Yeah, they're on song and have had 2 disastrous weeks and obviously some soul searching, the riot act, all of the above, and the return of Mark Nwanganitawaze for the first time since round 9, and all of a sudden Bob's your uncle. But you know what's incredible about that try? It was Jed Stewart being pushed into touch by Robert Toya and Mark Nwanganitawaze, and down the other end you chase, your kick is as good as you chase down the other end. You've had Toya drive through the air, pull the ball back, and Marky Marker scored. Here's Sam Walker right in front of me.
I've got a morsel for you, Gibbsy.
Yeah.
Mark Nwanganitawaze has now scored 34 tries in 33 games.
Yeah, and that's better than 100%, Andrew. Sam Walker, he's had some lessons on his goal kicking during the week. I reckon he'll have adjusted from the last one. He'll nail this one.
22 out a metre in from touch. No one loves mocking a goal kicker more than John Gibbs. 14-0 Roosters. Here comes Walker. He strikes it. He likes it. He's kicked it. Gibbsy was spot on. And it's now Roosters leading 16 points to 0. Walker, 2 out of 3. But they've been opportunistic, the Roosters, and Canberra simply is not. They are struggling to complete sets, and while they've looked dangerous, you're not going to trouble the Roosters if you can't handle the footy. And I'm looking at that replay again. That was spectacular from Toy, because really, technically, that wasn't a good kick from Walker. Yeah. It was miles over the dead ball line, but Rob Toy got there. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been on the back of too. I know you've spoken about Nafahu White. He was enormous to start off, but also the back rowers, Wonga and also Crichton, have been real handfuls out wide. They've got some good metres to get them in some good field position.
So here's the kick-off. Roosters with it, 12 out from their own line. On the text line, 0467 920 222. Great call, chaps. I don't think Ricky is his happy place at this point. I wouldn't think so, Bretto. Glenn and Dan are angling on the Darling River, outback New South Wales. Enjoying the call. Thanks, guys. Well, happy fishing. Here's Nat Butcher, affectionately known as the Cuban Thumb, tackled on his own 30-metre line. So the scoreline is 16 points to 0 in favour of the Roosters. And we've still got 6.5 minutes left in the half. Cherry Evans looking for a 40-20. Yep. That's perfect! 40-20 by Daly Cherry Evans. And the Roosters will get another opportunity here. 17 out from the Canberra line. Brilliant stuff. The Roosters are just too classy at the moment for Canberra. They lead 16-0 and there's the threat of more to come right now. This is a big set. Great kick by Daly Cherry Evans. The 40-20 is one of the all-time great specialists of that particular kick, and from the tap, Watson goes left, Walker away to Collins, and he's tackled 10 metres out from the Canberra line. Plays the ball to Robson. Comes to the right, Watson. Then away Walker, hands it off on the inside to Wong. Wong now straightens eventually, runs straight over the top of Starling. Caught though 2 metres out from the line. Plays the ball to Robson. Goes left to Walker. Dummy steps, beats one. Then got a wraparound ball for the Roosters and they're going to score again. The wraparound pass came back on the inside to Reece Robson. He burrows over to score the try. And this all of a sudden has gone from being a great game to looks like an absolute carve-up. Sydney Roosters 20, Canberra 0 here at Canberra Stadium as a hush went over the crowd. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the half. Reece Robson hasn't been out there all that long, but he now has a try.
Yeah, it was a great end-up work there, but it was Sam Walker. He actually falls over the line himself. He could have just scored it, but he gets that left-hand offload away to Robson, who scores there. But what about the 40-20? Kyle Weeks just a little out of space there in the backfield, and bang, it needed to be perfect, and it was. They score, and the Roosters, as you've mentioned there, a carve-up. They are absolutely on fire here tonight.
You know, everyone talks about six agains and momentum swings and all that. Nothing, I reckon, John Gibbs, leads to tries more than a 40-20. That was a ripper from Cherry Evans.
Well, we saw two from South Sydney last night. They scored both their tries from 40-20s. It was. And just a little quandary for our listeners. How many 40-20s do you reckon Daly Cherry Evans has got in his 364 game career? Well, it is 42.
I was going to say 41, okay.
Yeah, he's got 42, and he's got a 20-40 as well, 120-40. But that was incredible. Sam Walker's having a blinder, and some of the audacious play from the Roosters has been fantastic, and they've hardly put a ball down, which they couldn't catch a cold the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, they're back to their best, aren't they? Here's Walker, 18 out, 19 in from touch, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 3 out of 4, and gee, the scoreline's got well away from Canberra now. Roosters 22, Raiders 0, 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in the half. Around the grounds in the AFL, Hawthorn 54, Western Bulldogs 27. That's in the second quarter. So, boy, hasn't this changed? We're just down in Albury, Maury, so I know how cold it is down there. Keep warm, Gibbsy. Legend Tungy from Tammany at Scott's Head. And Joyce says, happy Queensland Day to all our Queenslanders listening tomorrow. Well, it's Queensland Affairs tomorrow, 5:30 North Queensland against the Dolphins, and then Broncos and Gold Coast on Queensland Day. Now a drop ball from Watson right in front of his goal post from the kickoff. Boy, Canberra have to capitalise on this. They'll get a scrum feed, 10 out for the goal line. 3 minutes 30 left in the half. It's 22-0. 22-6 would look much more palatable, but Connor Watson, Tongue, it's the oldest trick in the book. He didn't look at the ball.
Yeah, that's right. They've backed themselves with a bit of the ball movement, and they've been pretty good. Like completion rate around 85% there. They've dominated possession, nearly 60% of possession, but now the Raiders, they dearly love some points with 3 minutes to go. See what they can come up with.
They win the scrum. Starling sends it right to Sanders. Gets it away. Strange. Short ball Hosking. He's knocked to the deck. 11 out from the line by Crichton and Co. Played. Comes left away to Adam Mariotta. And the front row is put on his back. 2 or 3 metres out for the goal line. Canberra with a footy down 22 blot. Starling sends it left. Through hands it comes away to Sanders, but he's a rash. Great defence, Roosters. And they actually shove him back 5 metres. He'll play it 15 metres out from the line. Great aggressive defence from Robson that time. And Canberra works at right edge, 9 metres out. They're not going far. That time was Tarpany. Play to Starling. Goes left Sanders. Turns it into Young. Watson's one of 3 defenders there with Robson and Collins. 5 out in front of the left upright. Last tackle Canberra. Starling swings it away right to Tarpany. What's he doing with the ball? He didn't want it. They've made an absolute mess of this Canberra. Changeover, although then he does the tunnel ball through the legs. Picked up by Hudson Young in heavy traffic. He drops it. Scooped up by Toya for the Roosters. 12 out from their own line. 2 left in the half. 22-0 the Roosters lead.
I don't know what just went on there. What it was to start off, though, was a bit of a poor pass from Tom Starling out of dummy half. It needed to get to his man. Here we go.
Matt Timoko. You're offside in the play the ball, mate.
So it's a penalty going to the Roosters just to complicate things further for the Green Machine.
Yeah, but it was a poor pass out of dummy half. Tarpany needed to get it into Sanders or Stranger's hand just to get a contest on that play 5.
So now the Roosters will get a late chance here in the half as Cherry Evans finds touch just to the left of John Gibbs on halfway. 90 seconds to go, so look at certainly the full set. Tap taken by Toya here on the western side. Goes left, Cherry Evans to Butcher. Runs into Tarpany and Mariotta. Stands in the tackle, 8 metres in Canberra territory. Canberra must defend their line here. Sam Walker goes out the back left to Desco, but he's in the ball and all tackle. Laurie was over the top. About 35 out. Strange there as well. Now they come right on the next play to Lindsay Collins. Charges with venom. He's caught 25 metres out for the Canberra line. A minute to go in the half. Ball played Robson. Goes right to Walker. Links up away that time to Cherry Evans. Got past Sanders. Still going his daily. And now he's on the deck 11 metres out from the Canberra line. Right in front of the goalpost. Play to Robson. Spins it right to Walker. Short ball to Siwa Wong. That's a magnificent ball and all tackle. 5 out. And then the ball's been lost. That was Hudson Young and Ethan Sanders. My goodness.
Great tackle.
Save the day. It'll be a Canberra scrum feed. 10 out from their own line with 30 seconds left on the clock and John Gibbs on the touchline. I thought Wong was going to score there.
Yeah, and so did Wong. But the person who came up with the tackle, Ethan Sanders, he's hurt himself. So he's really ginger. He's going to need the half-time break. He's still down on his haunches, but that was a try-saving tackle by the halfback.
That was brilliant from Ethan Sanders. Now a drop ball from Mariotta. Picked up by the Roosters a metre out. What is Canberra doing? 10 seconds left. Robson goes left. Shocking pass. Watson goes without it. Dribble kick from Walker. Lost ball Laurie. Stacks on the mill offside Roosters penalty Canberra. My goodness, this is Looney Tunes. So it's a penalty to Canberra, 8 out from their own goal line. This is almost like an old-fashioned Tom and Jerry comic. So they'll find touch on the eastern side, Canberra, then I don't know what they'll do from there. 22-0 Roosters lead. Siren has sounded. It is a penalty, Canberra. And do they try for something magical here, Tungy?
Well, try and get up. I don't know, maybe just survive.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen here? No, not a great touch finder there. They'll just have to take it to ground there, you think? Or
75 metres away from glory.
Okay.
Tap taken by Laurie. Through hands. It comes away to the left. Sanders to Tarpany. Drifts across field. Can't be Cherry Evans or Wong. Cherry Evans drops off the play. They're still thinking about a one-on-one strip, the Roosters. But held as the call, as you heard. And that's it. And well, absolutely frantic first 40 minutes. But it's the Roosters in control. They lead the Canberra Raiders by 22 points to 0. Here at Canberra Stadium, and it's hard to find a way back for the Raiders. The Roosters are playing brilliantly, and Canberra's ball handling has really let them down. For the Roosters, tries to mark Nwanganita-Waze in the 11th minute. Hugo Savala in the 25th. Nwanganita-Waze again in the 32nd, with a big thank you there to Rob Toya, and Reece Robson in the 35th. Sam Walker, 3 goals from 4 attempts, 1 restart. For Canberra, nothing, but they've had 2 restarts. The penalty count is 2-2, but it's Roosters in control. Alan Tung at half-time with a 22-0 lead.
Look, I've been really, really impressed with the way that the Roosters have come here tonight. As mentioned early on in the piece there, a couple of weeks of, a lot of drop football and not great completion rates, but they have looked on song right from the word go. It's been played at a really fast pace, and I think those couple of crucial little errors, Tom Starling and Hudson Young, early in that first half there, really gifted a bit of opportunity for the Roosters, but they've worked hard for it. Defensively, they've had plenty of energy as well. Try to control Kyo Weeks as much as they can, but I've loved Nafahu wide up front. I think he has been enormous and really set a great platform for them to be able to play off the back of that. Some nice plays there, Walker and also Cherry Evans. It's been a great game of first half here for the Sydney Roosters.
Throughout the game played at a cracking pace, but yeah, the Roosters well on top. John Gibbs has been enjoying it all from the chilly touchline. What did you make of it, John?
Yeah, well, they've got so many tricks in their kit bag, the Roosters, and whether it's kicking, whether it's passing, they've come up with some audacious plays. They've been amazing. The kicking has been good. Long passes, the counter-attack's been fantastic, but the key to it for the Roosters is controlling the ball. They're completing at over 80%, which is 20% up on what they did last week. week. And, in contrast, the Raiders haven't been able to hang on to the ball. They've made breaks, they've created opportunities. That one where Kyle Weeks went straight through and then, muffed it. It was just a squandered opportunity. So as a result, the Roosters have really got away to a big lead, and things are looking good for them. Things are looking grim, you would have to say, for Canberra.
By the way, news through Xavier Coates, who's been out injured for the Melbourne Storm at training, has done his Achilles and is gone for the year. Gee, what a horrible year for Xavier Coates. He is gone for the year, having done his Achilles at training. Around the grounds in the AFL, it's half-time. Hawthorn 54, leading the Western Bulldogs 27. Earlier in the rugby finals game, Wellington 66 thrashed the ACT Brumbies 12. And in the Test match cricket being played at Lords, England bowled out yesterday for 140, but New Zealand 9 down for 113 early on day 2, with Kyle Jamieson on 38. Matt Henry's actually just been dismissed for a duck. All out 113 New Zealand, and Ollie Robinson 5 for 39, Josh Tongue 3 for 40, and Gus Atkinson 2 for 9. So the lead 27 runs on the first innings for England. That Test being played at Lords. You're with Alan Tongue, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore. This is NRL Friday here on ABC Sport. Second half to come. Roosters leading 22-0 after Melbourne's 32-30 victory over Newcastle. Let's head to the ABC newsroom.
ABC News, good evening, I'm Noni Edwards. Critics say major drug manufacturer AstraZeneca's decision to pull a critical drug from shelves from November is putting many women in limbo. Zoladex helps patients to slow the growth of breast cancer or reduce the risk of it recurring, as well as manage endometriosis. Health Department figures show an estimated 8,600 patients were dispensed the medication in the first quarter of 2026. Independent Senator David Pocock says the department is actively negotiating, but that AstraZeneca should rethink its move.
They're obviously really concerned about this, seeking to work through things with AstraZeneca, but they should come clean with Australians. Let's not forget how much money was shoveled to AstraZeneca and other pharmaceutical companies during COVID from the Australian government, and I think we expect them to be better corporate citizens.
The former boss of Sydney's Parramatta Council has admitted to sending an anonymous email that called for her own organisation to investigate an ex-staffer. Rhiannon Solomon-Marin reports.
Gail Connolly has faced a second day of questioning before the state's corruption watchdog, which is examining several allegations against her. Today's hearings focused on the exits of certain senior employees during her tenure as CEO. One of them, former Chief of Staff Justin Mulder, was the subject of an anonymous email sent to several councillors and journalists that accused him of systemic corruption. When asked by council assisting if she knew who sent that email, Ms Connolly replied she did. She told the Commission she had fears the issue was being swept under the rug and didn't want it traced back to her. Today was meant to be the final day of the 4-week probe, but Ms Connolly will return to the witness stand next week to finish giving evidence.
Analysts warn it will be difficult to remove Hezbollah from southern Lebanon after the militant group rejected a ceasefire extension agreed to by Israel and Lebanon. Under the agreement, there would be pilot security zones inside Lebanon in which Hezbollah operatives would be banned. Middle East analyst from the Lowy Institute, Dr. Roger Shanahan, says given these areas are yet to be defined, it's difficult to say how successful this agreement will be.
Yeah, listen, it's quite ill-defined. It's there in concept, but not, as far as we're aware, any details about lines and areas of responsibility, where they're going to be and where the Israeli military is going to withdraw from and where they're going to withdraw to.
Romanian authorities say a marine drone has detonated in the Black Sea port of Constanța near an oil terminal without causing any casualties. Local media is reporting that authorities found 3 other drones of the type used in the war in neighbouring Ukraine along the coast. The explosion comes a week after a Russian drone crashed into an apartment building in the southeastern Romanian city of Galat near the border with Ukraine, injuring 2 people. Cuba's president, Miguel Díaz-Canel, says Fresh economic sanctions imposed against him by the United States are illegitimate. The US Treasury Department website details that the sanctions target 5 people, including Mr. Diaz-Canel's wife, 2 members of the Castro family and the Ministry of the Revolutionary Armed Forces. It's part of a campaign by Washington to intensify pressure on the country's leaders. Some Nepali mountain climbing guides say they're concerned about the dangers of over-tourism on Mount Everest. Local guide Hilary Dawa, who was thought to be dead after failing to return to base camp, has been found alive after surviving without food or oxygen for about a week. More than 1,000 climbers and their guides scaled the almost 9,000-metre summit in May, the busiest climbing season on record. Sherpa Kami Rita says he worries about the over-tourism and how this impacts safety protocols.
The main issue here is that on the mountains there is a big need to set up a system for rescuing people. It should be set up by the government.
To sport now, and the ACT Brumbies have been eliminated from the Super Rugby Pacific Finals series after being humbled 66-12 by the Hurricanes in Wellington. The Brumbies conceded a club record 38 points in the first half, on their way to the heaviest finals loss by an Australian team in competition history. The Queensland Reds are now the only Australian team that are remaining in the finals. They will face the Chiefs in Hamilton on Saturday. You're up to date with the very latest from ABC News. There's more news at any time on ABC Listen.
Are there any winners in the cost of living crisis? What's causing the algal bloom?
Questions. They've never been more important. So the one thing we'll never question is our duty to keep asking. ABC News. Keep asking.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Through hands, Cherry Evans away. Tedesco, they got the numbers. Toya, great tackle. Timokor got the ball away to Marky Mark. And the woman in Awaze gets it down despite the presence of Kyo Weeks and Savelia Tamale. What a finisher he is. Mark Nwaganita Waze, the great try for the Roosters. It comes back to Savala. He's going to be dragged in. No, still going. He's going to score the try. The Sydney Roosters are in. Savala left Horsburgh, one other in their wake, and he's over to score. Walker puts in the kick for Rod Toya. Toya throws it back, and the try's been claimed by the Roosters. Toya did incredibly, flicked it back, and who else but Mark Nwaganita Waze says, yeah, baby. Goes left to Walker, dummy steps, beats one, then got a wraparound ball for the Roosters, and they're going to score again. The wraparound pass came back on the inside to Reece Robson. He burrows over to score the try. And this all of a sudden has gone from being a great game to looks like an absolute carver.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio
and ABC Listen.
Yeah, great first half performance by the Sydney Roosters to lead 22 points to 0. And now the Canberra Raiders NRLW team is being introduced to the crowd here at Canberra Stadium, and they're getting ready for their season ahead. Their coach Darren Borthwick being introduced as well. We're only about a month away from the NRLW season. I'm Andrew Moore. John Gibbs is on the touchline, and we've got royalty next to me as well, and Alan Tongue. It's fitting of my being at the Vatican watching the Pope, just standing up here, waving away, thumbs up,
got some mates from Barra High School.
You get your teapot arms out, you take another photo. It was beautiful to watch. The king of Canberra Stadium, Alan Tongue. Tell you what, the Raiders have some work to do. Well, you captained this team for a long time. What would your first bit of advice be?
Well, starting to look at the completion rate. They're at 44% up against a quality team like the Roosters. You've got to nail that. Yes, you've still got to play some football, but I think they've missed a couple of opportunities there. We've spoken about some key mistakes, but defensively too, they've been off. Their energy, it just hasn't been able to match it. The first probably 10 minutes, it was helter-skelter from both sides. sides. But then the Roosters just dominated their field position, but they just have seemed to have many more tricks up their sleeves than the Raiders. They've just got to nail every moment they get and try and limit as much time as they can from this Roosters side who's going forward. And on the back of Nafahu White, I think Wong and also Crichton out wide have been a real handful on their edge back row there. They've made some really great meters to put them in some good position, but it's going to need to be a big turnaround from the Raiders in this second half.
You know, such is the nature of the game in 2026 that Canberra scores first, early-ish, and 22-6, becomes a scoreline that maybe not as scared of if you can get on a bit of a roll. But the Roosters being able to capitalise on things Canberra have not done perfectly well has been magnificent, and that in the end they scored 3 tries in 10 minutes. That seems like a killer blow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and some freakish tries too. Yes, it's all on the back of effort, but some really quality skill here. The kicking game, I think, from Walker and Cherry Evans at 40-20 was brilliant, but the kicking game has been certainly superior as well from the Roosters. So they've just come here tonight and really just backed themselves. And they look like a confident football team ready to throw the ball around in a little bit slippery conditions. They've looked brilliant.
Well, I've been watching our man John Gibbs on the touchline, pacing, getting his steps up, and no doubt keeping the blood flowing in these conditions, Gibbsy. Is there a way back for Canberra, do you think, or not?
I don't think so. I think the Roosters, this has been cumulative of their poor performances the last couple of weeks. They needed to fire up, and poor old Canberra's been on the end of it, and they've aided and abetted them, though, with some poor play. 22-0. I doubt it. Look, we've seen funnier things, but I just don't think they've got the wherewithal to do it, although Ricky Stewart's message was simple to them. Put that 40 minutes behind you and just start again. So we'll see what happens. And the reason why I'm pacing, by the way, is I think I've got frostbite.
I'm not blaming you. That's for sure. Not getting any warmer, mate?
No, it's now -3.
All right, I'll shout you hot chocolate when we get to the hotel. Here's the Roosters coming out now, led by James Tedesco, leading 22-0, 4 tries in the first half. Earlier today, Melbourne over Newcastle, 32-30. We'll get a wrap-up, and we'll hear from man of the match as well, Cameron Munster, speaking with Ian Cohen post-game. The game ended very late. This game had to be delayed 5 minutes, so we didn't get a chance for any player reaction post-game. We'll certainly bring it to you after this one. And we'll get Brett Sprigg and Ryan Hoffman to recap a very entertaining game at Amy Park, and a huge win for Melbourne over Newcastle. Canberra back now. They head to the northern end. They'll get first use of the footy. It will be Tedesco to kick off. Is there much wind to speak of, John Gibbs, down there?
There's a slight westerly, which is just cooling things down a little bit more. Incidentally, it is Reece Robson who started from the bench tonight and scored that try in the first half. His 150th NRL match, so I should have paid tribute to Reece a little earlier, but he's having a solid game for his 150th.
Only had a program, Jotty.
I know. Where is my program?
Here's the kick-off. It's under the beanie I left tonight, I think. Here's the kick-off coming for the Roosters. 22-0 they lead. And referee Gerard Sutton is about to blow time on. I've wondered where he was. He's way over there on that eastern touchline in front of the Greek and Larkham stand. We're in the Mal Meninga stand here at Canberra Stadium. And we're about to go. I think.
Waiting.
We're all on the edge of our pew. Come on, Gerard, not getting any warmer. Although Gerard Sutton's waiting for the floor manager from the TV broadcast to give him the thumbs up.
Mate, it's out of my hands. I'd love to get going.
There you go. Thanks, Gerard, for the clarification. Here's the kickoff from Tedesco. We are underway as we're just after 9 p.m. here at Canberra Stadium, and Adam Mariota, who made a very poor mistake late in that first half at his own goal line, but here he's tackled. 17 out from his own line and about 10 in from touch on the eastern side. Plays and it comes open side right to Matt Timmercore. He's wrapped up just on his own 20 and 20 in from touch eastern side. Imperative, obviously, Canberra makes an excellent start. Tarpany, he's up the centre, ends up down, 29 out from his own line. 3 tackles into the second half. Played to Starling. He sends the ball to the right edge. And the tackle made 12 metres short of halfway. Played by Horsburgh. Comes to the right. Ethan Strange takes on the line. But there to greet him head on was Walker, and over the top Crichton. 3 short of halfway. Last tackle Canberra. Ball played Starling. Goes left Sanders, the left foot kick. 4 short of halfway. And a really really does float. Tedesco charges over it, then puts boot to ball, kicks it near the touchline. 6 more tackles for Canberra as they dive on it. That was bizarre from Tedesco. And now the Raiders, 22 out. Savage plays it. It comes left to Hosking. Hosking spins in the Watson and Collins tackle. Down he goes, 12 metres out from the goal line. Canberra on the attack. Ball played Starling. Spins it away left now. Sanders away. Got the pass on to Tarpany, but he's contained. Tackled there by the defence. Wong was across. And Butcher 9 metres out. Canberra goes left weak, slips and falls into Crichton. He'll play it 7 out from the Roosters line. And come across to the right. A hand off on the inside of Mariotta. Collins is there, and Watson and Butcher down low. Tackle the metre out in front of the left upright. Last tackle Canberra. Starling gets it away right to Sanders, puts it on the toe. Poor kick into the feet of the Roosters hooker Reece Robson, and another poor finish from Canberra. Robson's got it for the Roosters. 18 out from his line. Plays the ball quickly to Walker. He sends it right, and Smith's nailed. 22 out from his own goal line. It is 22-0 the Roosters, Alan Tongue. 2 gone second half.
Well, the first kick from Ethan Sanders was brilliant. The torpedo punt, I'd like to see him do that more often. And Tedesco, he just couldn't get to the football. They got another set of 6. Not a great attacking set there on their line, and just couldn't get that kick through. But great work from Robson to clean up the scraps.
Now here's a kick from Walker outside the 40 with a 22-0 lead. He's deciding to play it down in Canberra's end. Bounces down to Weeks. Has a 2 out from his own goal line. What a great chase from the Roosters as Weeks is put to the ground on his own 10, and they've kept him very quiet so far. Ball played now to Laurie. Goes left to Xavier Savage, and Xavier Savage is wrapped up. 17 out from his own goal line. Roosters up 22-0 early stages second half. Now Canberra go up the centre of the field. Tackle made here on Laurie outside the 20. Played to Starling. He goes left edge again. And mid-quarter halfway Canberra's half. It's played by Owen Paddy to Starling. Comes right to Tarpany. Takes on Crichton. Nearly beat him. Throws it along the deck. Scooped up by Mariotta. Good hands by the front rower. He gets to halfway. Then passed back to Hosking. Hosking encroaches into Roosters territory. Caught by Crichton and Collins. 2 metres in Roosters half. Played on the last. Comes left to Sanders. Up she goes. The kick downfield to the left wing. Billy Smith didn't want a bar of it. Neither did Strain. Sits up. Tap back. Straight back to the Roosters. They have it through Walker. 28 out from their own goal line. 3.5 gone. 22-0 Roosters lead. Touchline John Gibbs.
Well, those couple of kicks from Ethan Sanders have been beauty. They've been, scaring. Obviously, the wits out of the Roosters. They don't want to catch it. So that's an opportunity. But apart from that, they get close to the line. They got nothing Canberra tonight.
Here's Nwanganita Waze. Beats a couple. Accelerates. Got a pass down the right edge. Toya. He's over the 40. He's got support. Gets the pass on the inside. Cherry Evans dragged down by Weeks. 2 metres out from the line. You thought they had to score. They still will going left. Walker. Crossfield kick. It's over the head of Savage. Here comes Billy Smith. But Xavier tippy taps it over the dead ball line. And the crisis averted, or is it? Goal line dropout Canberra. Roosters lead 22-0. I thought they were going to score down that edge for sure. As the Nwanganita Waze set it up, beat a couple, and a brilliant flick pass down the touchline for Rob Toy.
There's been some crazy moments in this game, hasn't it? Down the other end of the field, nobody wanted to catch the football. Bats it back, goes straight into a Roosters' hands. Now down the other end of the field, he looked like he was going to score for all money, Cherry Evans, and then a great tackle from Kyo Weeks. Then the crossfield kick. It's all happening.
Line drop out. Sanders gives it to Collins, and he's tackled 31 out from the goal line. Roosters up 22. Blot looked far and away more dangerous than Canberra. Here's Butcher up the middle. Tackled 22 out from the line, centre field. Play it down. Watson sends it to the left. And here's a crushing tackle about 15 out from the goal line by Hosking on Walker. Now comes right to Tedesco. He dummies his way to within 4 metres of the goal line. Put to the ground. Tarpany over the top of him. Right between the sticks at the northern end. Robson fires it away right from Cherry Evans to Wong. He's tackled 3 metres out. Last tackle Roosters. Play to Robson from dummy half. He goes right to Cherry Evans, but he's in trouble. He's caught instantly. Great defence coming up there from Timmercourt. Changeover. Canberra gets it 5 out from their own line, but they do trail 22-0. 5 minutes 30 gone second half as now the Raiders take it over their 10.
Yeah, they look so likely, don't they? Every time that they're attacking down there, there's movement on both sides of the ruck there. You're not sure who it's going to go to, and it's a last effort each time from the Raiders to stop them.
Paddy sends it right to Strange. Cut out all the way to Savage. Down the right wing. Straightens, tackled, and put to the ground there by Smith, and also coming across Walker and Savala, 10 short of halfway. Played to Strange, goes left to Hosking, and Zach's tackle, 3 short of halfway, 20 in from the western touchline. Watson was in there with Collins, played to Starling, goes left, Mariota to Sanders, then away to Strange, out the back to Kyo Weeks. Great tackle, Rob Toyer, on halfway, 8 in from touch on that far side. Played to Jet Stewart on the last, comes right to Strange, the kick from halfway, and it floats down to Tedesco with a catch, 19 out from his own goal line. Dummies takes on the defence himself and wrapped up 28 out from his own goal line. 6 minutes 30 gone second half, and the scoreline remains 22-0 Roosters. Here's Nwanganita-Waze in centre field. He's captured 30 out from his own line. AFL third quarter, Hawthorn 56, lead the Western Bulldogs 33. Now the Roosters spread it right to left. Tackle made here about 9 metres short of halfway on Butcher. Short side left again. Walker to Crichton. Shrugs away from the defence of Laurie. He comes back at him. Tackle made 8 metres in Canberra territory. 9 in from the western touchline, and Crichton walks off the mark. So he'll go back and play to Savala. Comes to the right to Walker. 2 tackles left for the Roosters. Hands it off on the inside of Watson. Got through Laurie. Now caught 38 out from the goal line by Hosking. Played on the last. Comes right. The kick from Sam Walker. Challenging for Savage. Up they go. He lost it. Xavier Savage drops it. Comes back knocked on by the Roosters, but it'll be a Roosters scrum feed 10 metres out from the Canberra line. Xavier Savage never, ever looked like catching that one. 22 blocked the Roosters. 7 minutes 30 gone second half, Alan Tuck.
And he needed to take it. It's just with the Roosters pressing so hard on their line at the moment. He charged for the football, but you're right. He just didn't look confident right from the word go there. Lucky not to be called offside there, I think, in Ethan Strange there as well. So the Roosters, they line up to their right-hand side, but you can just feel Walker, Jerry Evans, Tedesco getting heavily involved.
They're all set to the right. The scrum taken 20 in from the western touchline, but folding back to the short side left is Billy Smith, but they do go right. Robson, Cherry Evans, Walker, Tedesco, and he's confronted by Sanders, put to the ground, but they're offside inside the 10 against Canberra. So penalty to the Roosters. Penalties are just 3-2 in favour of the Roosters, and they're going to have another scrum by the look of it. Let's go down to the touchline. John Gibbs.
I don't know why they wouldn't take a shot at goal there and make it 4 converted tries. Nevertheless, they obviously are treating Canberra with disdain. They'll probably score here. Whether it be Nwanganita-Waze or Robert Toyer, haven't they put on a show tonight? That right side for...
Is this a prediction, Jonty?
Yeah, they'll score.
Toyer or Nwanganita-Waze?
Yeah, in this 6.
Okay, here's the scrum. Fed and 1. They go to the right. Just rinse and repeat. Cherry Evans to Walker. Cut out ball to Toyer. Then away to Nwanganita-Waze. Steps in field. Pass 1. He's over. Gibbsy. Oh, you've done it again. You've done an Ematonagato from a few years ago. Oh, boy. Well, I said Alan Tongue's up here looking like the Pope. You're looking like Nostradamus, Jonty. 26 blocked the Roosters. 3 tries to mark Nwanganita-Waze.
And it just looked too easy, didn't it, on that right-hand side there for the Roosters. And it was Matt Timacori come up. He needed to make that play. But Toyer, he has just been such a handful. Jed Stewart was a man who raced in at the end there to try and put it down and copped a bit of a whack for his liking as well, but enough to put the ball onto Marky Mark on the outside, and he scores in the corner. The Roosters on fire with Jonty.
26-0, John Gibbs. Well done. We bow to you.
Yeah, well, it must be the freezing air here that's making me think sanely. But that was a very, very easy get because they've just been so good on that right side. The left-handed defence for Canberra hasn't been able to handle it. And there's your answer why they didn't take it to 2 converted tries, 4 converted tries, because they knew they could score. So they are just, this is just men against boys tonight. And they're handling the ball. See, they're not dropping it. The Roosters, if they handle the ball, are fantastic. But Toyer, Sam Walker, they're all doing a wonderful job.
So here's the kick coming from Walker. 24 out. This is as good as I've seen the Roosters play this year. 26-0 they lead, and Sam Walker kicks 3 from 4 in the first half. Text coming through 0467 920 222. Andrew, can you ask the Governor-General of Canberra Stadium to put the mic down and pull on a pair of boots? That's from Ian. That man is you, Alan Tongue. Here's Walker. Moves in now. Moves goes in and he strikes it, heading towards the post, and he misses near side, no goal. His second miss from 5 attempts, but it is 26-0. Roosters lead Canberra, 29 and a half minutes to go. 3 tries to mark Nwanganita Waze. Also on the text line, 0467 920 222. Loving the call, listening in Tajikistan, having just driven over the Uzbek border. Boy, go whiz, 6 big ones would be nice. Oh, that might be an AFL one. Great call by Nostra Gibbsy. Says Row in Canberra. Hey, boys, can you ask John Gibbs to send through the lotto numbers for next week? Love the call from Chris. Sorry, Maury. Clearly, I've upset you in some way. What? Tammany? No, I read your text out before Tammany. We've got no issue. I attempted a 40-20. My whole team were offside. I didn't get the 40-20, but we smashed the fullback. Loving the call, listening from Tajikistan. Yeah, that's the one I mentioned before from Mick in Coburg. So thank you, Mick. Here's the Roosters now with the footy again on their own 20. Nwanganita Waze plays it. It comes left to Lindsay Collins. He's scored 28 out from his own line. Now, darting from dummy half Robson. Got the pass away to his right. Wong bounced away from one. They look like they can score every play here, the Roosters. Picked up now dummy half by Watson. Takes him on himself. Caught 38 metres out from the line. Last tackle. Dummy half comes to the left. Robson away. Kick downfield by Walker for Savage. This time he comes away with a good catch. 10 out from his own line and 10 in from the western touch line. Roosters 26, Canberra 0. 29 minutes to play here at Canberra Stadium. As the Raiders go left edge now to Laurie. He's caught 12 out from his own line. Played to Strange. And they work it towards centre field, but they look well beaten at the moment, Canberra, don't they, Tungy?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a lot of run-out running there now, and it's Hudson Young doing the same. Again, in the first half when they were offloading the football, they were going through them first, and the offloads were coming on the back of that. Now it's a little bit more helter-skelter and standing in the tackle and trying to create something out of nothing.
Flick pass by Tarpany to Mariota, went backwards off him to Strange, inside now to Savage, and he's scored 21 out from his own line, but it's the last. Played to Starling, goes left Sanders from his own 20, end over end kick, bounces between Tedesco and Nwanganita Waze, dives after it, of course he catches it, millimetres off the turf, gets up, heads up over the 30, and Hudson Young greets him with 2 others, and down he goes, 10 short of halfway, 10 in from touch on the eastern side. He'll play the ball now for the Roosters to Cherry Evans, comes left to Toya, and Rob Toya's done some really classy things tonight. He's scored 2 short of halfway, he's only 21 still, Rob Toya. He's a good player, isn't he? Now it's the Roosters up the middle. 8 metres inside Canberra territory, looking for another try. They come to the left of Walker, then the ball over the head of Crichton. Great hands by Savala. I thought he was going to knock that on for sure. He's entitled to, but he held on to it. Now he's going to be taken by Mariota for Canberra, and also in there Morgan Smithies. 30 metres out. Cherry Evans goes right to Tedesco, then away to Wong. Right foot step from Siwa. He's contained by 3 in green. 20 out from the goal line. 27 minutes left. All the Roosters 26-0 on the last. Cherry Evans puts up a kick to the northeast corner. Nwanganita Waze couldn't quite get the run through, and it's caught anyway by Jet Stewart. Canberra has it 2 metres out from their own line. 26-0 Roosters. Now comes right to Timacor. He's caught inside his 10. John Gibbs on the touchline. Any more predictions?
No, not as yet. It's getting colder. That's not a prediction. That's just how I feel. But just by the way,
Ralphie, give him a colour.
They have done. Ralphie, I can't see Ralph. They have played so well, and what's happened is they've got no energy now, Canberra. So the Roosters are up and about, and here they go. But see, they're easy. They're fresh. The Roosters are still fresh.
Young got it to Timacor. Tackle on the 30. Now short side right, left back to Timacor. He sends it right to Young. Throws it off the ground. Ball is... Oh, it came off Nwanganita Waze from the Roosters. So that's more good luck than good management, I think. Canberra will get another set via a scrum feed on halfway. We've had 14 minutes of the second half, and the Roosters have taken it from 22-0 to lead 26-0.
Yeah, one of the big changes, I think, too, on the differences, between the two teams has been their ends to the sets as well. A couple of good kicks here from Sanders, the floating torpedoes and whatnot that we have seen, but really the ends to the sets where the Roosters have been finishing and finding grass there on their kicks has been really good, and their kick chase has backed it up.
So here's the scrum fed and won by Canberra. Comes to the right edge, and Laurie is caught 6 metres in Roosters territory. He'll play the ball now to Starling. Centre field left it goes. Smithies away, Mariota. He's wrapped up. 35 out from the Roosters line. Centre field, Collins was there. And Starling back to the right. Sanders to Strange to Hosking. It's over the 30. Put on his back though. 29 out from the Roosters line and 20 in from the Western touchline by Walker and Triton. Played now. Starling goes left. Strange to Sanders. Double cut out pass finds Timacor. He's done some nice things, but he's wrapped up 18 out from the line. Southeast corner. Plays the ball out of dummy halfway scoot. His little stab kick by Hudson Young. It bounced off the upright. Dived on by the Roosters who end up in the in-goal area. But a brilliant little bit of play there coming from Hudson Young. Goal line dropout for the Roosters. He just towed it between the legs of Nat Butcher. Bounced off the upright. And there, Johnny, on the spot was Connor Watson. Line dropout Roosters. 26-0 they lead.
Yeah, but a bit of an individual play, isn't it? Just trying to make something happen there because the Roosters' defence has been so good. Talking about a little bit of creativity from the Raiders.
Short line drop out by Walker to the eastern touchline. The ball's knocked over the touchline, but off whom? It was off Nwonganita-Waze. So the Raiders will get to play the ball. 15 out from the Roosters line. Sydney Roosters 26, Canberra 0, 24 and a bit to go. Owen Paddy about to come back on for Canberra. So chance here for the Raiders. Tarpany plays the ball. Starling sends the ball right. Inside ball to Hosking, running off Smithies. And he's tackled only 8 metres out from the Sydney Roosters goal line. Dummy half is Tom Starling. Goes to the left, out the back to Sanders. Back on the inside, Tarpany. Tarpany in heavy traffic. Radley's back out there with the Robson in defence 2 metres away. Plays the ball to Starling. Goes left to Sanders. He dummies his way to the defence. Radley came across with Wong. A metre out from the goal line. Starling. Centre field right, Mariota. Goes up the middle, but straight into the teeth of the Roosters defence. Collins knocks him to the ground a metre away. Play to Starling. Goes right, bodies in motion. Sanders to Strange. Ducked away from one. Flicked off the ground brilliantly to Laurie. The long ball left to Kyo Weeks, who's been really quiet. And he's running around in circles, Kyo Weeks. Finally got the ball on the inside to Hudson Young. And Young's tackled 11 metres out. Last tackle, Canberra. Play to Starling. Goes left now. Weeks got the pass away to Timacor. He's rounded up. Great defence by Toya to knock him over the eastern touchline. Changeover. Magnificent set defensively from the Roosters. They'll play 10 out from their own goal line. 22 and a half to play. Roosters 26, Canberra 0.
Yeah, you would have liked to see maybe a touch more. And once again, we'll touch on the energy that the Raiders are lacking at the moment. But that attacking set could have been much better. But give a lot of credit to the Roosters defence. They've just been turning up for one another. And Rob Toya, I know he's done some magical things with the ball in hand, but that time defensively, brilliant tackle.
Play 2 for the Roosters, comes left to Crichton, and Crichton, can he offload? He's standing, held as the call. And he'll play it on his own 20-metre line. And Laurie there, along with Tarpany and one other defender coming back onside Strange, as the Roosters now get close to their own 30-metre line with this 26-0 lead. Play to Robson, goes centre field right, Nafahu White's back on the field. Tell you what, against a fatigued defence, he could be catastrophic for Canberra. Nafahu White tackled here 12 short of halfway. Now Cherry Evans looks for another 40-20, read beautifully by Kyo Weeks. Fields at 13 out from his own line, heads up over the 20, stumbled, but now he's caught by Nwonganita-Waze, 26 out from his own line. Let's go down to the touchline, John Gibbs.
And Canberra, they are absolutely gassed. Look at them trying to get back. They've already had a couple of tackles, and players, half a dozen of them, still trying to get back on side. You know, a side's going well like the Roosters when they're leading like they are, and James Tedesco, by his standards, has been quiet and basically unnoticeable.
Owen Paddy on the field for Canberra. The 5th interchange replaces Starling, and Paddy goes left to Mariota. He turns his back on the defence, stands in the tackle, 5 short of halfway. Plays the ball to Paddy. Goes to his right, through hands. Hosking. He bounced away from one. And still going, Zach Hosking. Great run over the 40. Got a one-hander with the tackle back to Owen Paddy. Paddy charges into Walker and Crichton. Tackled 29 out from the Roosters line. Last tackle, Canberra. It's play to come short side right to Ethan Strange. Ran into Radley. Ran away from Radley. Went left to Tarpany. He can't be caught with it. He got the pass away then to Paddy. Overhand ball to Sanders. Double cut-out ball to Timacor, but no one's going forward. Wrap-around ball for Kyo Weeks. Kyo Weeks to Jed Stewart. Throws it off the ground back to Sanders. He or rather strange. He puts in a right foot kick straight to Billy Smith for the Roosters, a metre out from their own goal line. Then he brings it back to the 10, got through one, nearly got through two, and Smith scored 19 out from his own line, 26-0 Roosters lead.
But you just don't know what's going to happen next, do you? Well, the Raiders trying to keep the ball alive on fifth play. Who does it go to? Once again, Joe Tarpany. He gets a flick pass away, and it's Hudson Young, the man who tries to put the kick in eventually, but the Roosters, they're still dominating.
Inside the 10, Canberra. Set restart, only the second of the night for the Roosters and only the fourth for either side all night. Roosters 5 short of halfway. Now comes Setterfield left Tedesco. Wrapped up 4 metre territory. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, second half. It's all the Roosters. The tricolours up 26 blot. Here's Nafahu White. He's put to the ground and he'll play it. About 34 metres out from the Canberra goal line. Does so now to Robson. Dummies, then goes himself and wrapped up 26 out from the line. Game number 150 for Reece Robson. Played on the last to Lenu back on the field. Got it right to Walker. Up she goes. Straight kick. Flying high Kyo Weeks. Didn't come down with it. Nor did Tedesco. The ball ends up over the dead ball line. And the ruling is a knock on by the Sydney Roosters. We've got a challenge.
Last tackle from Roosters. On-field ruling is that James gets a touch here in the contest.
Amazing, isn't it? In the wet, in the heat of battle of an origin, in the 79th minute, Tedesco juggles, takes it, scores the game-winning try. And here in an innocuous 26-0 lead, does he knock it on? It seems to have gone almost through his hands onto his chest.
Yeah, they're just going to have a look if it doesn't touch Kyo Weeks on the way through.
Just looking at all available angles to see who the ball touches first.
I did, mate, but he's allowed to challenge it.
I think it's probably touched Tedesco first. It's just what part of his body. Gibbsy, have you got any firm view here?
Yeah, they'll retain their challenge, but they'll go what the referee said because there's air swings. You don't know who's touched it. You need a forensic investigation. They'll keep their challenge, and it will be the referee's call, which is a knock-on by Tedesco.
Based on all available angles, the challenge by the Roosters will be retained.
You keep your challenge, mate, but we stay with the live decision. It'll be a handover out here, boys.
And John Gibbs, by the way, you've got tomorrow off, haven't you, Gibbsy? You're going to win $1 trillion on the races tomorrow.
Well, that's if I fall out and get home.
Maybe stay cold. Here's Canberra now with the footy from the changeover. And that's Corey Horsburgh back on the field, who scored 14 out from his own line. 26-0 you with Valentine. John Gibbs, I'm Andrew Moore here on NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Earlier, Melbourne defeated Newcastle 32 points to 30. As now Hosking plays it to Paddy. Centrefield left to Horsburgh. Centrefield taken by White and Lenu and Radley right on the Canberra Raiders 30-metre line. Dummy half Paddy. Goes left to Sanders. Then away to support Young, but Hudson Young's dealt with this time. He's looked dangerous at times, Hudson. Plays it on the 30-metre line, his own, to Paddy. Goes short side left, through hands, away from Weeks to Timacor. Right on that far side, and Timacor scored 4 short of halfway. There to greet him was Cherry Evans and Toya. On the last, it comes to the right, under pressure, Sanders. Got the kick away, though. Running onto a Tedesco up against Laurie. Tedesco, great catch, because Laurie was in his line of sight. He comes down with it on his own 30, the Roosters captain, with 18 minutes and 27 seconds to go. Roosters up 26-0, only one try though in the second half, as Walker turns it into Billy Smith, and he scored 34 out from his own line.
A couple of players from the Green Machine who haven't given up all night. Joe Tarpany, their captain, and also Zach Hoskins on this right-hand side, the edge back row. He's put his hand up and done a lot of tough work.
So now the Roosters, Robson goes left to White, started across field, kept going that way, and he's caught on halfway. Put to the ground by Horsburgh and Hosking. Play to Robson, goes right to Tedesco, short ball Lenu. It's in the great tackle, 38 out from the goal line. Played quickly though on the last. It comes from Robson to the right. The kick there from Cherry Evans, down to the wing of Stewart. Toya coming through. Oh, Jet Stewart never looked like it. Picked up by the Roosters, but it's not gone both ways. First one, Stewart, is Nwangele to Waze dives over for what could have been his 4th try of the night. It will be a Rooster scrum feed, because honestly, some of the catching from Canberra tonight has been like they're slapping seals. It's not been good.
In the middle here.
And you think in these conditions they should really own that, the Canberra Raiders, and use it to their advantage. But tonight, there's been a couple of misses there and some discipline that have certainly let them down.
So the Roosters have an opportunity here. We better go down to our soothsayer, John Gibbs. What's going to happen here?
Well, I don't know who's going to score, Andrew, which way they'll go, but centre field, they retain the ball, they'll score.
They come to that centre of the ground. Inside ball from Cherry Evans to Tedesco. He darts to the right and straightens. 7 metres out, but you are declaring a try this set?
If they don't drop the ball, they'll score.
Okay. Robson, 8 metres out. Goes to the right to Victor Radley. He gets close. Quarter metre out from the line. 16 and a half to go. And it's 26-0 to the Roosters. Play to Robson. Goes right to White. He spins away from the first. Spins away from Ethan Sanders. They hold the ball. And they score. The Fahu White. Does anyone deserve one more than this bloke? He's over to score the try. Jared Sutton points to the spot. I think he also pointed out to Gibbsy. Said, of course they're going to score. 30-0, the Roosters thrashing Canberra. 16 minutes to play here in the nation's capital.
Well, you mentioned that if there was a player that deserved a 4-pointer more than anyone, this was this man, Nafahu White. He's been enormous for them. The way that he started the game and took on Horsburgh and also Joe Tarpany was really, really great to watch. He's played tough, running well over 100 metres there. And this one, a beautiful 4-pointer there.
Back down to you, John Gibbs.
He's a handful, there's no doubt about that. In that game against the Cowboys up at Magic Round, he was unbelievable. He didn't deserve to lose. He ripped them to shreds single-handedly, but that was a bad miss. I think it was it Corey Horsburgh got on a roundabout. He was just spinning around, and it was like the old, you remember the old cha-cha? It was like that. So that was there, and hang on, what are we looking? No, it's going to be taken off him.
Let's have a listen.
Under review for potential obstruction.
I think you'll find it might be from Siwa Wong.
At this stage, Siwa Wong is in front of the ball. He stays in front of the ball. He now is in a position where Matt Timoko cannot get to the ball carrier. This is an obstruction.
No try to Nafahu White. Scratch it off the charts. It remains 26 duck egg in favour of the Roosters over Canberra. No try, and instead it's a penalty to the Raiders. They're third of the night. The penalty count is 3-all. The set restart count is 2-all. So Canberra through Sanders now finds touch on the far side, 21 out from the Canberra line. And the AFL getting closer. Hawthorn by a couple of goals. Hawthorn 64, leading the Bulldogs 52. Rooster Mars says, come on, Maury, let rip with your famous saying. Ooh. It feels like a bit of a waste of time now, 26-0, but I'll get there for you, Rooster Mars. Here's Canberra heading over the 30. They've got a 32 out from their own line. Ball played to Paddy. Goes short side left to Weeks, and he's collected heavily by Toyer again, too short of halfway. Paddy goes right. Inside ball Sanders to Tarpany, and they've dealt with him pretty well tonight too, the Roosters defence. Their forwards have been magnificent. 6 metres in Roosters half. Paddy takes off from dummy half, and he got the markers offside. So it's a set restart. Still going, Owen Paddy. He's over the 20, held about 18 metres out from the goal line. He set up a great bit of momentum here for the Raiders. It's played and it comes to the right side. Through hands to Strange. Plays it out the back to Weeks. Links up with Laurie. Quick hands went 48 feet forward to Xavier Savage, who's pulled up lame. He's limping in the in-goal area, Xavier Savage. And we'll keep an eye on that. It's going to be a Roosters ball. 10 metres out from their own line via a scrum feed from that terrible forward pass from Laurie to Savage. 15 minutes to go. Roosters 26-0 over Canberra.
Yeah, once again, the Roosters defence, the Raiders trying to throw everything they could. The ball moving out wide. They created the overlap, but there was still Roosters defenders coming across. Even if Xavier Savage had have caught that football, it was too far out in front from Dane Laurie, but they had to chance their arm and just try and go for some points. But once again, the Roosters really standing up.
So the Roosters with their scrum feed on their own 10-metre line. Haven't seen a crowd figure yet tonight, but bear in mind the weather. Quite impressive. Must be, what, 13,000, 14,000, somewhere around there?
Around that, yeah, that'd be about right.
Here's the Roosters now. Robson goes left to Billy Smith. And he's going to be caught on play 33 metres out from his own line, 20 in from the western touchline. Play to Robson. Goes centre field right, backing his way into the defence. Lenu caught 10 short of halfway. Paddy was involved in the tackle, along two with Hudson Young. Now it comes right in the Fahu White. And And it's a penalty going to the Sydney Roosters. Interference in the play the ball. So the Roosters pick up their 4th penalty of the day. 7 metres short of halfway, right in centre field. 13 and a half to go.
Yeah, just Owen Paddy just playing at the arm. The dummy half as he's got out there. So penalty and down into some good field position here again.
Finds touch. Did Daly about 26 out from the line. Toya will take the tap on the eastern side. Comes to the right. Cherry Evans away to Nafahu. White denied a try but minutes ago. He's caught here 18 out for the Canberra Raiders goal line. Horsbury was in there with Tarpany. Now Radley centre field. He's captured 10 out from the line, in line with the right upright. Plays the ball to Robson. Goes to the left. Walker away. Tedesco to Angus Triton. But the defence is there. Savage still limping in back play but still on the field. Triton was caught by Laurie. Play to Robson. Goes right to Cherry Evans. Then away to Nafahu White. And he's going to be caught 5 metres out from the goal line. Tarpany was there. Dummy half is Robson. He dummies inside. Goes left away to James Tedesco. Knocked to the ground. 4 out from the line. Last tackle Roosters with his 26-0 lead. And it's played. They go short side left. Cherry Evans dummies. Spins in the tackle of Laurie. Changeover. Canberra get it back. 5 out from their own line. 12 and a half to go. 26-0 Roosters. Touchline John Gibbs.
Yeah, that was better defence there for Canberra. And you mentioned Xavier Savage still limping. Well, he did himself a mischief when he stretched for that horrid pass that he got from Dane Laurie. Dane Laurie's done a good job filling in. He's a very versatile player, but passing in the centres is a really difficult thing to do if you're not used to it.
Here's Canberra now, Jonty. 19 out from their own line, and it's a penalty to the Roosters.
Third man contact.
Okay, so third man in making contact with the player on the deck, so it is a penalty to Canberra. Penalties now 4 apiece. Right on the Raiders 20, and Ethan Sanders drop punts it over the western touchline in front of us, about 6 metres short of halfway.
Yeah, just watching the Roosters all tonight, the way that they take energy away from the opposition. Yes, it's the field position and their 5th play options, the way that where they finish their sets, but also the movement they have on the ball. It's both sides of the ruck. There's plenty of movement there. They're always asking questions, and also the post-contact meters, which they're always getting from the opposition. They just continually zap you of energy.
Play 2 here sees Tarpany caught 10 metres in Rooster territory. Paddy goes left to Horsburgh. Angled run by Corey. Ball popped out the back here as well for Canberra, and they now find themselves 22 metres out from the line. Coming on the field, Jaden Brayley, their 7th interchange. They have 1 left. Saunders to the right to Strange. Short ball away. Hosking got past 1 in Savala. Held up now by Walker. 11 out from the line. Plays the ball to Paddy. Goes open side left away. Sanders links up with Ethan Strange. Strange comes back to the right. 2-hander pass over the top. Good hands by Horsburgh, but they're scooting right to left, left to right, right to left. Now it's Brayley who straightens. Caught 11 out. Last tackle. The defence from White. Play to Owen Paddy. Paddy runs around the circle. Set restart. And he put it on the toe, Owen Paddy. So it becomes a penalty because they lost the ball. So he knew what he was doing. Penalty goes to Canberra, their 5th of the evening. He's a little live wire, Owen Paddy, isn't he?
He certainly is. Brought plenty of energy, and his deception at 9 is really good. He asks questions both sides of the ruck. Probably a little less speed than, say, a bloke like Tom Starling, but great service out of dummy half.
10 and a half to go. Canberra looking to give their fans something to cheer about. It's from the restart. Hosking caught 5 out. Plays the ball. Paddy. Short ball to Horsburgh. Stands in the tackle. A metre out from the line. That's not Corey. That's Smithies. Plays the ball now. Going from dummy half is Owen Paddy, but straight into the defence. And Robson was not going to let him through. Played it now, and they swing it left to Horsburgh. Big dummy. Then Lenu slipped over. Flick pass back. Knocked down by Crichton and knocked on. It was a poor pass from Corey. I guess it's the type you throw when you're down by 26 with 10 minutes left. It will be a Canberra scrum feed though. 10 out for the Roosters line.
Yeah, but defensively, once again, they keep turning up for each other. Yes, the Raiders' attack isn't on song here tonight, but the Roosters' defence has been great. They dearly love to keep it nil scoreline.
That's Alan Tung. I'm Andrew Moore, and he is John Gibbs on the touchline.
Yeah, Ethan Strange, and you said it before, feeding his scrum. He has been kept quiet. That whole right side of the field hasn't done much. Although, to be fair, a lot of the Canberra players haven't done much.
Canberra wins the scrum here. Gibbsy comes left to Ethan. Sanders slides through 1, then taken in a try-saving tackle from Siwa Long, and he's hurt himself, Sanders. Struggling. No, he gets to his feet. Plays it 2 metres out to Paddy. Goes left to Weeks. Dummy slips over. He's been so quiet, Kyle Weeks. Collected here by Radley. 10 out from the Roosters line. Played Paddy. Paddy goes right to Horsburgh, then away to Strange. Not a good pass, but good hands from Laurie, but he's cut to the ground by Savala. 10 out from the line, 12 in from touch southwest corner. Play to Paddy, goes left to Sanders, puts in a little stab kick to Desco, knew it was coming. Gets the ball and then dives, swan dives, like Matthew Mitchum into the field of play, and it's a Roosters ball with 8.5 to go. Roosters 26, Canberra Raiders nil.
Oh, pass from Teddy there. The positioning in the first place to take the kick there from Sanders, but then all of a sudden he knew that the Raiders defence was screaming through, and he gets straight to the ground straight away.
So now it goes right edge to Wong. Caught 25 out from the Roosters line. It's played. They go short side right. And they're just dominating in every area of the Roosters. There's a good tackle on Cherry Evans. 35 out from the Roosters line. Last tackle for them. Played to Radley. Goes left to Walker from inside the 40. Looking for a 40-20. Just for hits and giggles. Does he get it? Weeks taps it back into the field of play. He did very, very well. Picked up by Jet Stewart out from the goal line. Gave it back to Weeks and he scored 10 out from his own goal line. Don't forget the text line 0467 920 222 in the AFL third quarter. Hawthorn 64. Western Bulldogs 52. Rowdy Andy says Canberra's been dreadful. Who does Stradamus predict for the FIFA World Cup? Asked Jay from Dapto. Who's going to win that one, Gibbsy? Any clues?
Portugal.
Here's the Canberra Raiders. Said with how much conviction?
Nil.
Hudson Young caught 21 out for the Canberra line. Now Ned Hall is taping that in the studio just in case. It comes to the right. Laurie got a pass away and Strange is absolutely decked. 21 out from the line. Great tackle front on by Savala. Last play and all of a sudden Laurie's got to kick it and it's straight down the throat of Tedesco. 11 short of halfway. He sends a pass away right. Here's the Wanganita Waze and Timacor good tackle 8 metres short of halfway. For you Rooster Muzz, 7 minutes to go. Game, set, bingo, the Roosters are going to win, but that's been the case for some time, Tungy, as they take play 4 metres in Canberra's territory. Radley goes left to Walker, then he got a pass on to support, and the tackle's going to be made on Fiketti, who's taken the field in the white headgear. He's caught Celeste Fiketti, 33 out from the goal line by Mariotta. Plays the ball to Radley, goes right to Walker, hands it off on the inside to White, and the Fahu White's tackle, 28 metres out from the line. Only 4 points in this second half of the Roosters, though. Radley to the left. Walker, quick hands. Tedesco, Savala to Billy Smith. Weeks to beat. He takes on Weeks and gets the ball down, or did he? There was a hint of a bobble. Jared Sutton says we'll go to the bunker. I'm not sure he got it down, Billy Smith.
No try. It's reviewing grounding, mate.
So he's getting the plaudits of his teammates, Billy Smith, but he'll know. 6 minutes to go. Roosters 26, Canberra nil. Look for the world like he was going to score.
We have a decision.
Kaya Weeks took him on and he reached out and he just had to fall down with it and he dropped it.
Yeah, he needed to dive in there, didn't he? But great work from Kaya Weeks as well, coming across there, and the game's all said and done, as you mentioned.
I thought he was badly beaten there, Tongue. He did well to hang in there, Kaya.
Yep, and spinning in that tackle, but the Roosters just really loving watching Sam Walker, the way that he's just scheming in both sides of the ruck there too, swinging from one side to the other, just causing plenty of headaches for the Green Machine.
I'm already excited about your ABC Player of the Year points because there's a few Roosters in the running. Now play 2 for Canberra, 34 out from their own goal line. Hosking, who I think's been among Canberra's best. Kick downfield now from Paddy, looking for a 40-20. He's got the distance, not the angle. Savage in pursuit, but Tedesco gets back there again. Dives on it, 5 out from his own line. 5.5 to play. 26-0 to the Roosters. Touchline we go. Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, did a good job to get back there. Also Sam Walker and be dummy half for him. Savage was flying out of the field. Just by the way, Billy Smith, all he had to do, as Alan said, he's got the wet grass. He just had to slide in. He had him beat, and for some reason he tried to stand up and beat him.
So now the Roosters 28 out from their own line. Wanganita Waze plays it to Radley. He sends it to the right edge. Tackle made about 12 metres short of halfway on Wong. Now comes right to White again. He's just got a huge motor on him, Nafahu White. Not to mention strength and skill. Another 10-metre run. 8 metres in Canberra's territory on the last. Kick over the top by Cherry Evans behind Jed Stewart. Bounces sideways. Stewart does pick it up. And he's going to be collected instantly about 10 metres out from the goal line. And in there was Cherry Evans and Rob Toyer. He plays it to Weeks, goes right to Timokor. He's caught 13 out from his own line, 4 minutes 30 to play. Roosters 26-0 over Canberra. Reminder, tomorrow we're on air from 2 p.m. Myself, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis and Ruan Sims in the boardroom. An extended pre-game show. Set restart here for Canberra. And then at 5:30, with the help of Laurie Spooner on the touchline at Townsville Stadium, we'll call the game between North Queensland and the Dolphins. And then it's the Broncos hosting Gold Coast at Lang Park with Quentin Hull, Billy Moore, and rather Brett Sprigg, Billy Moore and Travis Main tomorrow night. Here's Mariota now for the Raiders. He's standing in the tackle, about 3 metres short of halfway. Plays the ball to Patty. Centre field left to Brayley. Then away through hands to Young. And Hudson Young stands in the tackle of White and Wong. Yes, I said it. 9 metres in Roosters territory. Paddy had a dummy half. Beat one tackle. Still going. God, he's nearly their best player, Owen Paddy, in 10 minutes. Now it's a little chip over the top coming from Canberra Raiders Brayley. Reed's cooped by the Raiders, but it's been lost forward. And a try denied. So the knock-on came as it was picked up by Weeks, diving over to score between the sticks, but it is a knock-on, and it's a Roosters scrum feed, 10 out from their own goal line, 3.5 to play. Roosters 26, leading Canberra 0.
And he does a lot of those freaky things, Hudson Young. He comes up with a flick pass or a little kick or something comes off. But tonight it's been a lot of individual plays. The Roosters have just totally outclassed them with the ball in hand and without.
So now the Roosters just outside their 10. Smith plays it. It comes right to Angus Crichton. Bald as a badger at the moment, and he's tackled 18 out from his own goal line. Plays the ball to Walker. Goes right to Wong, and he's caught. Good run. Up to his own 30-metre line. Plays it. And a dummy half. Connor Watson up over the 40. Beats wonders. Watson gets to halfway, and the future Dragon and future Chief is caught 5 metres in Canberra territory. Played quickly. Walker kicks over the top. Yells out, "Run, boys," to Zavala and Smith. But Kyo Weeks got the memo as well. He slides into it, probably like Billy Smith should have done earlier, and collects the footy and slides over the dead ball line. It'll be a goal line dropout for Canberra, trailing 26-0 with 2.5 to play.
Yeah, but great vision once again. He saw the space in the backfield. He put it to his outside backs there to chase that through. Kyo Weeks, he's on the money at this stage, but still they get a repeat set here and hopefully get the football back. And with a couple of minutes to go, you just feel like there still might be some points in these Roosters.
So now the line dropout. Taken by Strange, high to the 20-metre line. Oh, taken by Tedesco. He's got it 21 metres out from the goal line for the Roosters. Can they finish with a flourish here? The only try in the second half came in the 9th minute to Nwaganitawaze, who scored 3 tonight. Now the Roosters are 17 out. Faketi plays the ball to Watson, goes right to Radley, plays out the back. Lenu got the pass away to Cherry Evans, comes back centre field left. Walker away to Crichton, tunnel ball through the legs, Wapner. Diving on it to Savala, 30 metres out after a 10-metre loss from Angus Crichton's jibber jabber. A minute 22 to play. Dummy half Savala goes right to Crichton. Bit of a more traditional approach here from Angus as he runs headlong into the defence. 22 metres out from the line. Play to Watson, goes right to Radley. Links up with Cherry Evans, chip over the top looking for marking mark, but Jet Stewart the catch. Nwaganitawaze the tackle, and then a late shove to knock him in the end goal area was a bit silly, and that came from Tedesco. So it's going to be a penalty to Canberra. Into the last minute we go. Penalties now 6-4 to the Raiders, but that's the only category they're leading in. 50 seconds left, 26-0 Roosters lead.
Yeah, and as we look ahead for the Raiders, a really important period here, sitting in 12th position. They play the Eels away next week, and also the Storm, who are on that magnificent run at the moment, 4 from 5. So
they've got to string a few together.
They've got to string a few together before the Dragons at home, and then a bye for the Roosters. They're away to the Dolphins next before.
So you've got the runaway minor premiers from a year ago outside of the 8, and the premiers outside of the 8. There's now Canberra to play it. Big game for Brisbane tomorrow night against little brother Gold Coast. Now they take the tap to McCaw, and he gets into Roosters territory by about 7 metres. 5 in from the eastern touchline. 30 seconds to play. NRL Friday on ABC Sport as Canberra works it to the right side. Strange links up now with Mariota. He dummies, fends away from one. tackle, 10 metres, that's not Mariota playing the ball, in fact, for Canberra's Weeks. Plays the ball to Hosking, goes left to Horsburgh. Corey throws one out the back, fortuitously picked up though by Canberra, 7 metres in Rooster territory. One play left, if that. Does anyone want to play it? Yes, it is played by Laurie. Paddy goes left to Brayley, links up with support, final tackle made on Timacor, and that's it. A very, very convincing win for the Sydney Roosters. They've shut Canberra out here at Canberra Stadium, winning by 26 points to 0. Outstanding performance for the most part for the Roosters. They scored 4 tries in the first half and 1 in the second. Now the points for the Roosters with those 5 tries came to Mark Nwanganita-Waze in the 11th minute, Hugo Savala in the 25th, Nwanganita-Waze scored again in the 32nd, Reece Robson in the 35th, and you felt like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Nwanganita-Waze scored again in the 49th minute, Sam Walker 3 goals from 5 attempts, 2 restarts, nothing for Canberra other than 3 restarts. Penalties finished 6-4 to the Raiders, but it's the Roosters who turn a 22-0 halftime lead into a 26-0 victory over the Canberra Raiders, and Alan Tongue, they thoroughly deserved it for the most part. They were simply outstanding.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we spoke about it right on the top there in regards to their last couple of performances. Too many errors, completion rate way down, and then tonight they just came out here and they looked confident from word go, moving the ball around in some slippery conditions. Kicking game was on song from Cherry Evans and also Walker in the middle there, and the Raiders, they just simply had no answers for them. They really contained Kaya Weeks at the back. I think they did a really great job. Their kick chase was phenomenal all night. So a really, really strong performance from the Roosters, and they just show that they can be a threat in the premiership if that.
3 tries tonight, John Gibbs.
Yeah, it was a lucky charm. Things haven't been good in recent weeks, the last couple, but Mark, big win here in Canberra tonight. You needed this.
Yeah, look, mate, what an effort, the boys. We had a game plan. We came out there, and credit to the Raiders boys there. They're a tough team, powerful, and the job from the boys to hold them to the 0. I couldn't be prouder. We aim to do that, and hopefully we can continue doing that.
Yeah, the shutout was probably the most meritorious thing of the whole night. I mean, there was a sparkling, audacious attack, but that defence to keep them in Canberra to 0 is no mean feat.
Yeah, again, we had a game plan, and I felt like we came out there and did it as best we could. Did a good job at it. We couldn't do better, but it's a great start to do it. Cheers, bye.
Now, I know that you weren't involved the last couple of weeks, but the ball handling had been poor. Decided to put themselves on enormous pressure, and Trent is normally very calm, but he certainly was very cranky last week. There's been a reaction.
Yeah, mate, those weeks are gone. We can only go forward now. It was a good win tonight. Still a long season to go, so we just got to keep getting better. Take our lessons from today and again go again next week.
It was a great start for your NRL career here. I think it's your first go, 3 tries. Yeah. You've obviously played plenty of rugby here, but you never played NRL.
It's my first win in Canberra. I've got to give it to them. Canberra, whether it's Union League, they're a tough team to verse, always skillful. So yeah, look, again, great to get the win with the lads.
And finally, got a big match next Friday night against the Dolphins. That's going to be another test.
Yeah, mate. Obviously enjoy this win and take our lessons, but yeah, obviously that's going to be a tough game. They're doing well, so I'll look forward to that on Monday, getting our lessons there, and yeah, can't wait to go it again.
Mark, congratulations. Great win for the team and a superb individual effort. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
That is Mark Nwanganita-Waze with John Gibbs. The Roosters beat Canberra 26-0 before a crowd of 13,836. So we're reasonably close to the mark. We'll get another couple of interviews and then get Gibbsy out of the freezing cold. Back into the broadcast box between now and turn 30. We'll wrap things up from Melbourne as well with Spriggy and Ryan Hoffman, and hear from Cameron Munster, man of the match, and that's some good news for Queensland ahead of Origin 2 at the MCG with Cam Munster, Kalen Ponga and Harry Grant all getting the Player of the Year points today from Ryan Hoffman. Nafahu White, I get the feeling, will be amongst the points here tonight. Here is the Roosters front rower with John Gibbs.
Yeah, he's been in outstanding form, Nafahu. Doesn't score that many tries. Oh, Siwa, what's he done to you?
Oh man, I thought I was in there for a second, and once I saw him play the try,
I knew there was something wrong. So, but at the end of the day, I back see what day he was just supporting me if the offload was out. But hopefully many tries to come ahead. But if that's not the case, then just gotta keep doing my job, man.
Well, Nafahu, you've been doing your job. The handling has been poor tonight. That was rectified, and it makes a huge difference if you can control the ball.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like we're our worst enemies at the end of the day, and we only make it hard for ourselves with handling errors, penalties, and stuff like that. But as we displayed tonight, when we keep that ball in play and lower the errors and stuff, we're a hard team to be. And I'm proud of the boys tonight. We definitely showcased it out there, and just hopefully keep going with the weeks to come.
Yeah. Now I said to Martin Ong and Eduardo, I said, Robbo got cranky last week because there have been back-to-back lots of errors. You boys had to react. There's been some soul searching, obviously.
Yeah, no, definitely. We had to past couple of weeks we had to look ourselves in the mirror and have some deep conversations with each other and with coach. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to win a common goal. We're trying to get that premiership at the end of the day. And when we give each other feedback, it's from a place of love. And the boys really bounced back today after our past 2 losses. And like I said, we just got to keep nailing our job every week, and I know we'll get the jobs done.
Now, Fahu, from a personal perspective, what do you think it has been a change in your form? I mean, your game, you've been coming along, but this year it's gone to another level. What do you put that down to? Just self-belief or what?
Yeah, definitely. Confidence, self-belief. Just backing myself and my skills and my abilities. I come up against great top players in my position. I went up against my brother Joe Tapane tonight, and just those kind of battles. Just having belief in myself that I can get the job done for my club, and just using my skills and talents to the best of my abilities. And I'm happy that the Roosters, the brothers here, they support me and allow me to go out and do what I do. So I'm grateful.
Well done.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Nafahu White. That was fun chatting there with John Gibbs. Denied the try with an obstruction coming from Siwa Wong. Roosters 26, Canberra Raiders 0. Raiders, to their credit, they're still out there and I was going to say signing autographs. That almost seems a thing of the past these days. It's gone by way of the selfie in 2026. But they're still out there mixing with fans. Canberra Raiders, Roosters out there as well. And John Gibbs is still on the hunt. And it looks like he's gone after one of our favourites here. He was paying $1.01 to be interviewed. Zach Hoskins with you right now, John Gibbs.
Yeah, and there wasn't that many Canberra players that went well, but certainly Zach Hoskins was one of them. It was a tough night at the office, though, Zach.
Yeah, it was. Just said before, someone else, can't take too much away from what the Roosters did. They were clinical on both sides of the ball tonight, and really disappointing. We really wanted to build on what we did last week. It felt like we got back to Raiders footy, the way we play, a bit of ad-lib and using our strike, but credit to the Roosters, they didn't really let us do that tonight.
And probably you boys are a little bit unlucky because the Roosters are off of a couple of really ordinary, uncharacteristic errors from there, so their coach was looking for a reaction. You boys were on the end of it.
Yeah, 100%, but it's no excuse anyway. We had the squad to get the win tonight, and we didn't get it, as simple as that.
Now, Ricky was pretty calm at half-time, just said basically put the first 40 minutes behind you, but the way things are, there's a bit of a hole, isn't there, for you boys to climb out of?
Yeah, you could say that. We don't want to think like that, though. We want to be confident in the squad we have, and
I mean, just in terms of winning that, you can't afford to drop too many more games.
Yeah, well, winning's a habit and losing's a habit as well, and we don't want to get caught losing too much because you get stuck in that pattern. And like I said, we got the squad to do it. It's just about turning up and doing what we've done in training. We train really well during the week. We give ourselves a lot of confidence, and we give Stick and the coaching staff a lot of confidence as well. And like you said, he was calm at half time. He knew that we didn't have too much possession in that first half, and the way the game is now, you can score points quickly, especially with the strike that we have. So we can't be too negative about it all, but we've got to turn up next week.
Yeah, and that's against the Eels next Saturday night at Western Sydney Stadium. So it's going to be a tough ask. They're not easy either.
Yeah.
No side's easy.
Nah, that's exactly right. There's no easy game in the NRL, and you'll learn that tonight.
Zach, thanks for joining ABC Sport. Commiserations.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, Zach Hoskins, really, really good bloke. Speaking there with John Gibbs. Come on up, Gibbs. It's 1 degree. Get out of it. Come on up here. We've got the air conditioning working. We're countering that a little bit with the window open, the Tim Gable Memorial window. So it is still freaking cold. Roosters 26, Canberra 0. Tungy, what about your ABC Player of the Year points?
Yeah, I mean, you can nearly give every player in the Roosters lineup a point here tonight. They were really clinical right across across the board. I'll start with my 1 point there, which I found a little bit tricky there, but I gave 1 point there to Mark Nwanganizawaze. I just thought, 188 metres, three tries there, and nearly a fourth. But I tell you what, he's got that ability to finish, doesn't he? That no, not many players have got it like that. He's just freakish what he did here today. A huge inclusion coming back from that Cinders Moses injury. I gave 2 points to Sam Walker, a little scheming halfback. I thought he was absolutely brilliant tonight. Ran for 115 metres, so he got his hands on the footy there. But his kicking game was outstanding right throughout.
I can barely write these in. He's so cold. So to Sam Walker, he was terrific.
And then the big man who we just spoke to then, Nafahu White, 181 metres, but in particular his opening stint. Now the game, as crazy as this sounds, like it's 26-0 at the end, but probably for that first 10 or 15 minutes of the game, it could have went either way. The Raiders were right in the battle. It was played at a frantic pace, and the Raiders big men were going through, getting some ad-lib football, Tommy Starling out of dummy half, but then all of a sudden, the big men from the Roosters, I think they did a really good job, and his second stint was just as good as his first there from Nafahu White. So really, really big metres and big post-contact metres as well. He takes a lot of energy out of the Raiders' defence. So some quality performers. I thought their back rowers were outstanding. Wong and also Crichton, they were handfuls on the edges. Robert Toya just missed out as well. I was going to give him 1 point. I thought he was brilliant on the edge there. And for the Raiders, a couple of good performers there. Zach Hosking, definitely, and Joe Tarpany put their hand up once again. But I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of searching there for the Raiders, but Roosters, full credit to them tonight. They were outstanding.
And the Canberra's forwards got absolutely poleaxed tonight, didn't they? That'll be a concern for Ricky.
Absolutely. Yeah, last week it felt like they got back to the rhythm against the Cowboys, and maybe might have got a little bit too far ahead of themselves because, Tarpany, Horsburgh, those guys just rolling through them. They are dearly missing a guy like a Josh Papali'i.
Yeah.
Another
he's still
big
at least a couple of weeks away.
Still a couple of weeks away, and they've had to play Arthur Mariota a little bit more on the edge. He played a bit more in the middle there tonight, but I tell you what, they were dominated by the Roosters team.
I mentioned a player to you, was it at half-time? Matt Nicholson, the Englishman, who came out here a year ago as a 21-year-old, looked outstanding, but he's had awful shoulder injury, isn't it? Still not back?
Yeah, I think it was a shoulder stabilisation, the surgery that he needed to get there. So I still think he's probably another 6 or 7 weeks away. So training hard, but somebody that'll be dearly missed, and guy that could fill in the middle as well. They've been short on back rowers. They had Joe Roddy on the bench there tonight, who's just come back from a fractured hand if need be, but they're certainly missing another big bopper in the middle there, and the Roosters, their forward pack was outstanding.
Alan Tung, John Gibbs to rejoin us shortly. I'm Andrew Moore here on NRL Friday. We're about to wrap things up in Melbourne, but around the grounds, AFL, Western Bulldogs now in front of Hawthorn into the final quarter, 77-69. Earlier, Wellington Hurricanes in the Super Rugby finals game defeated the Brumbies 66-12. In the cricket test, the first test being played at Lords, England 140 all out yesterday. New Zealand bowled out today for 113. 27-run first innings lead for England. Now no wicket for 52 in its second innings with Ben Duckett 33 and Emilio Gay on debut not out on 16. So England gaining the upper hand. In fact, Ben Duckett has just been dismissed. 1 for 52 England with a lead of 79. Earlier today at Amy Park in Melbourne as a thriller went down to the wire. Melbourne in the end too good for Newcastle with a 2-point victory. Brett Sprigg called the game with Ryan Hoffman and Ian Cowan. Spriggy, tell us all about it.
Andrew, a really seesawing first half here with 3 tries to 2. It was at times scrappy, errors from both sides. Wasn't a high quality contest, but I mean, it had enough from an excitement point of view with 5 lead changes in the first 45 minutes or so of play. Phoenix Crossland was knocked out firstly in the opening minutes. He was medicapped off and went to hospital as a precaution, but it was clear that he would be a Category 1 concussion symptoms, so he took no further part beyond those first couple of minutes of the game for Newcastle. Stefano Yatoy-Kamano burst through for the first try of the game after 7 minutes, and then we saw Fletcher Sharp respond for the Newcastle Knights. Manaia Waitere scored next for Melbourne. Then it was Dylan Lucas, who's having a fantastic season, of course, the week that he re-signed to extend his terms at the Newcastle Knights, the back roller. And then from there, Will Warbrick was on the end of a fantastic kick from a pass from Jerome Hughes to score just before half-time. So 14-12 at the half. We saw Joe Chan placed on report for a facial. There was a bit of a melee late in that first half, and plenty of feeling between two Origin teammates in Cameron Munster and Kalen Ponga at various stages in the game as well. So from 14-12 at half-time, Newcastle scored first through Dylan Brown that very first set of the second half. Then Jerome Hughes and Moses Leo went over for the Melbourne Storm. The game looked in their keeping through much of the middle stage of that second half at 26-18, only for Jermaine McEwen to then score the hour mark. And then Trent Liero after 69 minutes for the Melbourne Storm, and then Jacob Safiti levelled things back up or made things back to a 2-point buffer. So 32-30 it was in the end. Kalen Ponga kicked 5 from 5. Su'a Falongo missed a couple of conversions, had 4 from 6 in the end. It was a tight game with a total of 62 points scored, Ryan Hoffman, but the Storm hang on for their first win on a Friday night in 2026.
Yeah, look, it was a funny sort of game. I don't think any team really dominated, but as you said, there were plenty of points scored, and look, it was tit for tat. I score, you score, I score, you score. So there wasn't a lot of pressure being built. Look, for the Melbourne Storm, for them, they just need to win. They just need to get 2 points at the end of the game, and that's what they've done. They did it against the team that was in the top 4 up until last night's game. So they're a quality side, Newcastle. So that's another scalp. Look, for Newcastle, I think that there's a lot of missed opportunity. There were a lot of chances there. They were pushing out to the edge, but really unforced errors, I think, ruled them tonight. So look, I think the scoreline was a pretty accurate reflection of the game. It wouldn't have mattered if Melbourne won by 2 and Newcastle won by 2. I think that would have been a pretty accurate reflection, but it certainly won't go down as a classic, but it was entertaining.
15 errors to 6 for Newcastle. Well, they had just 71% completion rate across the game, so that gives us some idea of where things fell apart for them. They had their chances, as you say, but couldn't prevail, so they've won just twice in their past 14 attempts at Amy Park. So their last win here was 2015. This was, in fact, the 50th meeting overall between these two sides, the Storm and the Knights. The Storm, as we say, have 3 of their next 4 games at home now, not including tonight, because they, of course, have one here. The bye next week, so more points. Then they'll host the Canberra Raiders here in round 16. So from that, they need, 6 more wins, you would say, in their remaining 10 games, plus they've got the 2 byes to come as well. So where do you put the Storm overall?
Yeah, look, it's up to them, to be quite honest, and they just need to win. Look, I think of the next games they've got coming up, especially you're looking at Canberra and Manly, this was probably the most dangerous one for them. Bang, tick this one, then they've got Canberra home, and then a tough road trip up to Brookvale. But look, they can win them. There's no excuse why they can't win that and really sort of set the back end of their season, certainly post-Origin, for a run at that top 8.
Who are your 3 best players tonight and why?
3 points, Cameron Munster. He really did have a hand in everything. He really tried. It's Origin time, so you're getting Cameron Munster at its best. Look, Kalen Ponga did everything he possibly could to help get his side the 2 points. He really tried on both sides of the football. And look, Harry Grant, he was just tireless, absolutely tireless out there tonight. And I'm actually looking out in the field. He's having a chat with another great dummy half in Danny Badiris. So look, Harry Grant was well deserved of the 1 point, I feel.
So 3 Munster, 2 for Ponga, and 1 to Harry Grant, and the ABC Player of the Year. As I said, both teams have the bye. The Storm will host Canberra here in round 16, while the Knights have the bye and then host the Dragons on the Friday night in round 16 as well. Thanks, Hoffy.
Thank you, Spriggy. That was good.
The Melbourne Storm 32, the Newcastle Knights 30 here, Andrew.
Good on you. Thank you, Spriggy. Thank you to Ryan Hoffman as well. And here, Cam Munster having a big game. He had a big game as well just before State of Origin, one to confirm his selection as 5/8 and captain. And Ian Cohen spoke with him after the game.
Cam, good win for Storm, obviously, and good in the middle part of the season.
Yeah, it was a tough fought win. It was very sloppy from both teams, but he just got lucky. He's probably got the rub of the green a little bit there, but okay, here you go. But that's footy, mate. You want to win those tight ones, and unfortunately we haven't been doing that the last probably 4 or 5 weeks. So it's good to get grind and go on to the bye next week.
You had a fair bit of venom in the veins. You were certainly up and in the grill of your Queensland teammate, the fullback. You had a quiet little interaction as well. Tell us about that.
It's footy. Whatever happens on the field stays on the field. He's one of the best players in the game at the moment, and the way he's playing with confidence, sometimes you just got to go out there and ruffle some feathers. So try to ruffle as many as I could, and sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. So I definitely try to get under Gags' skin, and I think he beat me a couple of times there. So sometimes you just got to know what you're worth and what your ability is about. And when you're playing up against world-class centres like Gags, sometimes you're going to get fooled. So look, I probably lost that battle tonight.
And Ponga as well, obviously. So was that on the whiteboard for you to get sort of in and up close?
Oh, no, I just wanted to bring aggression tonight. I feel like I've probably been lacking that a little bit last probably 5 or 6 weeks. So, just wanted to go out there and, tackle well. A couple of times I was good, but, I can always improve. And sometimes you win it, sometimes you don't. So I'll go back to the drawing board and just keep being aggressive.
Great game from Jerome, obviously. Sura as well. Do you feel it's starting to come together?
Yeah, I guess Jerome's got that polish, and obviously, Sura's got that X factor. So I just try and plug myself where I can. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I think the spine's really gelling really well at the moment, and we're seeing Sura shine.
What about the next couple of weeks? Tell us. Origin 2, obviously, at the MCG.
Oh, yeah, it's iconic going to MCG. Melbourne's pretty much home for me at the moment, so looking forward to it if I get the opportunity to play again. Whoever wears the Queensland jerseys, should be proud, and hopefully they can play a little bit better than we did in game 1.
Home for you at the moment. Do you think you might be here a bit longer or not?
See what happens. See how we go.
All right, thanks, Cam.
Cameron Munster with Ian Cohen after Melbourne's 32-30 win over Newcastle. Full-time in the AFL, Western Bulldogs have won by a goal. They were down 54-27 at half-time, but they've beaten Hawthorn 77-71. 0467 920 222. If you would like to send a text. I've not seen one single 40-20 from Ethan Sanders since he took over kicking. Tangy, you're looking.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, he's only played a handful of games. He's just at the start of his career. Yeah.
All right. Also on the text line, very few games this year with so few points scored in the second half. Only 4. Amazing, says Rusty Rooster. John Gibbs rejoins Alan Tung. I'm Andrew Moore here on NRL Friday with you for another quarter of an hour or so. We'll shortly have a look at the remains of the weekend. Just on the Melbourne Storm, John Gibbs, as you try and thaw out here. That was dead set cool down there, wasn't it? And you were pretty tough.
It was cold. My everything's all right except my feet.
Can't feel them.
No toes.
No, I get it. It was cold enough in here because we kept the window open, Tim Gable style. We've since shut it since you returned. And Baldy, our wonderful tech, this joint's warmed up about 15 degrees in a minute and a half. Why didn't we do that at the start? That's my fault. I'm an idiot.
Nevertheless,
Melbourne, they've won 4 out of 5 now. Are they a threat to make finals and still have a really good season?
I think they can make the finals. If they do, they'll fall in the bottom half. 7th or 8th, I think would be thereabouts from the Melbourne Storm. And if I was playing them, I wouldn't be worried at all. I think they're not going to be a threat.
Really?
The injury to Xavier Coates, that's huge.
Gone for the year, Achilles.
Achilles, that's really, really tough news for them. But they've got quality players, quality halves there. The international origin experience and whatnot, and Craig Bellamy, they're going to be a force still. If they can get in there and make it into that finals there, I think they'll still cause a few headaches.
Okay, well, if they wouldn't worry me. If I was part of another side that's going well in the top 4, I certainly wouldn't be worried about Melbourne in the bottom.
They do have big game players, obviously, though, don't they? And Munster and Hughes and Harry Grant. Tuikama Kamitha's coming back. Stefano Utoikamanu scored an early try in the game tonight. But they've been so rattled by injuries. Sometimes it just seems like you're going to have that year where you just can't get it all together.
Yeah, that's true. And if you have a look at the backs that they had playing tonight, there's a lot of days gone by.
No Case, no Meany, no Howard.
And you still got your halves, as you say. Bailongo, fine attacking player, but if you have a look at some of his defence tonight, it was ordinary, and that's what other teams will be noticing. As good a player as he is, and he is so exciting in attack, but defensively, he's only small. but he's got some deficiencies.
I actually think one of the big things that the Storm have missed has probably like been a Tui Kamita and also Nelson Asafa Solomona, some big guys, some big bodies to get them on the front, right? Eli Katoa. So those sort of guys have been the ones that they've really missed this year.
Now, tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be on deck from 2 p.m. in the boardroom. I'll be joined by Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis and Ruan Sims will be in for the pre-game show. And then at 5:30, we'll be calling the game between North Queensland and the Dolphins at Townsville Stadium. Louis and myself, and then Laurie Spina will be joining us, the former Cowboys captain, on the touchline. Cowboys and Dolphins, Alan Tung, that could be anything. The only thing I think you can guarantee is there'll be some great tries scored.
Yeah, that's right. The Dolphins' attack is one of the best in the competition. So the Cowboys, after coming here last week to play against the Raiders defensively, they weren't on, so they're going to need to really turn that around back at home there. But the Dolphins, the way that they move the ball, the questions that they ask, you know what's coming with their shape that they throw at you. They continually throw a similar sort of shape at you, but they just do it so well. So much speed out wide as well. And Katoa in the halves is just fantastic to watch.
So you're tipping Dolphins?
I'm tipping Dolphins.
The Dolphins, the way they've been going, they're a force to be reckoned with. Now, if I was playing in finals, they would be a side that I'd be absolutely petrified on.
Yes, yeah, I hear that. And the Cowboys without Tom Dearden may not scare as much, especially with the point-scoring ability of the Dolphins. But we shall see at Townsville Stadium. And then, it's a huge game for the Broncos tomorrow night, Gibbsy, at Lang Park. They take on the Gold Coast. They should beat them, but they should have beaten St George Illawarra last week, stung with a 30-26 loss. And Payne Haas, I think, if I followed Brisbane, I would be that thrilled with what Payne Haas had to say. That's, as a supporter, what I want to hear from my star player. He had an amazing game, but he said it's all too we're BSing each other. We think we're on the right track. So I wonder whether that kick starts them into action.
Well, I think it's going to be a similar case tonight with the Roosters. The Roosters were reacting to their coach, who was very cranky, and I think it'll be a similar situation with Brisbane. There will be a reaction. Now, whether that's going to be in the short term, I don't know, but I think tomorrow the Titans might be a little bit unlucky because Brisbane are going to have to perform tomorrow.
Well, Tony, you're a leader. You're a captain here at the Canberra Raiders for a long, long time. When a player speaks out like that, and he's a star player of that team, really, Payne Haas, what effect do you think that has in the dressing room? Is it a really positive one, or is it a what?
No, I think it is a huge positive for the Broncos there. I think they'll come out and they'll be cranky there tomorrow against the Gold Coast team. I mean, the Gold Coast have got plenty of players with a strike across the board, but defensively they need to be on song. Tomorrow the Broncos is something that Michael Maguire, the coach, he prides himself on, and they just haven't had that edge to them, the Brisbane Broncos. But when Payne Haas gets angry, I think he would command the dressing room.
Well, it was rock bottom for Brisbane last year against Manly.
Yeah.
Then they responded after that. I reckon it was rock bottom last week, so we'll see what they got this week.
Well, on NRL Monday and this past week, Scott Sorensen was co-hosting with me in the studio, and he did a bit of research. He came up with a sorrow morsel. And after 13 rounds last year, Brisbane was sitting 11th this year. We're 11th last year.
There you go.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was a blue micro moon, and it was the third time the Dragons had beaten them at Lang Park with the same scoreline.
You didn't get enough of that stuff last weekend?
Oh, that blows my mind.
I know.
30-26.
You're stupid yourself at the back there. On Sunday, we'll be on air from midday, and we're at Western Sydney Stadium. We'll call the 2 o'clock game between the West Tigers and the Penrith Panthers, who scored that remarkable win. Gee, that was a good game of footy against the Warriors last Sunday night. And this week they had Brian To'o back, Nathan Cleary back, Isaiah Yeo back. Liam Martin has a game under his belt as well. They're up against the West Tigers team, who had a decent win over Canterbury Bankstown. Obviously a step up in class here, Tungy, against a Penrith side that are looking, as on track as they've looked in the last 6 years.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and with those players that you just mentioned, they're coming back in. It's hard to tip against the Penrith Panthers. The West Tigers, they've shown some, real improvement once again this year, and a good win there, as you mentioned, last week. But Penrith Panthers strike across the park, and with that quality that's coming back, they're going to be way too good, I think.
And don't underestimate the loss of Alex Twal for the West Tigers.
He's out for 4 to 6 weeks, isn't it?
But he has been really good. You've got all of those young stars who can do all the fancy stuff. Alex Twal does the nitty-gritty stuff, the stuff that Alan Tung used to do, and no one will be there to do that.
I did say to Scott leaving the building the other day, I'm like, is there a danger with Penrith as well as you're going, knowing that you'll be heavy favourites against West Tigers after that big game against the Warriors, that a mental letdown. He's like, we've done this for a long time. No, we're good. We'll be right. We'll have the right attitude. Also on Sunday, the derby at Shark Park, Cronulla Sutherland against St George Illawarra. Louis made the point a million times. It never really matters where you're coming on the table. The derby is the derby. Hard to see the Sharks losing at home, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think, some great signs there from the Dragons last week up against the Broncos, but I think the Sharks at home there, it'll be certainly hard to beat.
Yeah, they'd want to be on their toes, though.
Yep.
If they have any complacency whatsoever, we've seen that the Dragons really, you and I called that game when Louis went down with the hay fever against Penrith.
Yep.
That was the start of them just
Lang Park,
steadily,
yeah.
getting better. Even though they didn't win that game.
Effort was